Okay. Hi. That hooker can be
Finish your
a term of
statement.
endearment, or hooker can mean that you're a hooker.
Well, for her, it's a term of endearment.
Most of the time it is. Most of the time. But then there's those times where it just doesn't need to be a term of endearment.
We're talking about hookers.
Hookers! We love hookers.
And look, we're in the right place tonight. That's awesome. I started out right.
Good job.
Welcome, everybody.
That never happens.
Wednesday, March 29th. Shit,
Already.
this year's just flying by. So welcome to Coffee Table Chronicles. A very warm welcome to our special guests. We have Dustin and Aaron from Practical, Tactical, and Prep.
That's right.
It's called Prep. It is. I love it.
Eventually, we'll just be known as PTP.
Yep.
I like that.
That's how we answer the phone. PTP.
I noticed one of your social media sites say PTP, doesn't it?
Yeah, we try to put that in our all our graphics logos, things like that, except for the main says our full name.
Right.
I tried to get PTP.com, but it's taken. But I'm on the search.
I'm like,
It's a
do we
hooker
need to
website.
take him out?
You know?
Is it a hooker website? Yes, I'm gonna call him
It's a hooker website.
and be like, bitches, give it up.
I like that. Hooker website.
Shit, I'm not on Rumble yet.
Well, you better hurry up.
Sorry, fucking hell.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Christine.
I am.
We got
We're good,
Bios
we're
to
good, we're
Books,
good.
Mama Cat's Rockin' Eats, Kathleen,
Andrea.
Heavy Metal Beer Club. Welcome, everybody.
Andrea
Awesome
and
to
Arthur.
have you guys on. Yes, Andrea and Arthur both on.
And Christine's back. Hi, Christine. We hope you feel better.
Our loyal listeners, gotta love it. So, give a quick shout out before we start to. Well, I lost my place here. Hang on. My mouse ain't working. Americano Ammunition Coffee.
They have a new coffee. Did you see it?
No, I did not.
It looks good.
They have a new T-shirt.
I know.
Did you see the new T-shirt?
Did you see it?
Grounds and Rounds.
I need to go get one.
Freaking awesome.
I was like, I don't need that in my life, but I kind of do.
I think you should get it.
I think I do want it. They
We
have it
already
in
got,
like
we
a
already got their
green.
cups, so
I know.
so they're our sponsor.
Be like, just give them $100 and be like, just send me anything new you make.
Right.
It's not like they're far.
No, right down the street in Queen Creek. So if you guys are local, best coffee in Arizona. Have you guys had their coffee? No. Their coffee is phenomenal.
So
It
good.
is so good.
My daughter's the coffee aficionado.
They
so
literally
out there.
roast it.
She should try it.
Here.
She would enjoy it.
They roast it.
Wow.
It's very good.
Nice.
So
I do the
oh
little
my
K
God.
cups of a keto with those caramel. Other than that, I can't stomach coffee.
Yeah.
It's too
Acidy.
something for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
just,
Yeah. Just we love coffee.
I think my mom gave me coffee in a bottle when I was a baby because I've been drinking coffee since I'm like 12.
We can
or
drink
13.
coffee like now, like right before
I
bed,
can drink
and
it
be
all night.
totally fine.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me.
I'm
Yeah,
done.
it used to be like that with energy drinks until I had like a kidney failure situation with kidney stones, and I was in
Yeah,
the ER,
that's
and I
fun.
just
Yeah,
ever since
that's
then
no
it's
good.
been water, beer, and maybe one energy drink a day.
Was that from caffeine or?
Yeah.
Really? They said
Yeah.
that's what caused it?
The
I had.
stones.
You remember those NOS?
Oh,
The
yeah.
NOS
Yeah.
drinks?
Yeah.
I
Those
had
energy drinks.
4 of those
Holy.
and a Rockstar within 2 hours. It was, and I didn't drink water, I think, all day,
That's
at all.
probably
and
Like,
then,
that's
yeah,
just it.
I remember.
Your body's not gonna be happy after
No, it was,
that.
well, I was fine. I was younger, and even
Life was
back then, I
great.
wasn't drinking a lot of
when
water.
you're young,
But
everything, nothing water.
yeah,
Right. Yeah, exactly.
but I remember getting a friend had to take me to the ER, and I remember, man, if there was a gun in here, I'd unalive myself. Like it was that terrifying. And then as soon as I get to the ER, they're like, "Don't drink water, don't do this." I'm like, pretty sure that's the only thing I should be doing. So
Yeah,
just
like, I probably should be drinking
I drank
water.
a bunch of water at the water fountain, and then I remember looking up and going, "All right, I'm good. Let's go."
I feel
I didn't
better.
even see a doctor or anything. I just left. Yeah, it's crazy.
Did you get a bill?
Nope.
You're the
That's
greatest
a good
patient ever. You fixed yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so we usually start out our show with memes of the week. So we don't have a lot this week, but we got you got right there.
Yeah, that's fine.
What'd you drink?
That was a lot of wine all at once.
I thought you were drinking whiskey,
No, why would I be drinking whiskey?
right? I like
That'd
this.
be an
Come on
impressive
now.
whiskey cup.
A salt plunger for when the shit hits the fan.
That's how
I
you
thought
make
that
the
was
shit.
We need
That's a
that.
tactical plunger, by the way.
It's a practical tactical plunger.
right.
PTP.
Yeah. To go with our luggable
We can
lubes.
sell those.
Right.
You could.
I have a label printer.
Oops, sorry.
Fired.
Nope, reminded me to lock our store, which it's already locked, so we're good.
It's already
Good
locked.
job, because he already checked on you.
Hey, I want to thank you guys too. You guys closed the store early to be here tonight.
That
Appreciate
was,
that.
and that was my mistake. I guess I was supposed to leave at 6. I didn't leave till like 6:20. I was like, okay, I'm leaving. I'm on my way. Sorry. I literally, a family friend, sorry, Katrina, if you're watching, I'm locking
kick
up the
her
door
out?
and she's walking towards the door. I'm like, I'm so sorry I'm running late for a podcast.
No.
Someone comes to me
You
tomorrow
gotta
night.
go
I'm so sorry.
I'll give you 10% off. I'm so sorry.
That's dedication, though. I appreciate
Yeah.
that very
Thank
much
you.
so. So heading out on a supply run these days, like milk, eggs, bread, toilet paper, and sanitizer. I think that came out during COVID, but
Yeah.
Had to have, because the toilet paper one would have been in
Definitely.
bold italics and underlined.
yeah, for sure.
Eggs. You can't afford eggs now.
No.
Shit.
So go ahead and make fun of us now. You won't be laughing when the apocalypse hits you. Noah, the original
Thank you.
prepper, and they call
Thank
me crazy.
you.
I love that. Thought that was good,
Bam. That's what I want to say. What did they say to Noah?
right?
Alrighty then.
Just like that, people stop laughing at preppers. It's hard to find prepper memes, you know that? There wasn't a lot out there. But watching Doomsday Preppers in 2011, watching Doomsday Preppers in 2022,
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's funny. They're like, oh, wait, what?
right? If you have a healthcare, retirement plan, or savings account, you're just a different type of prepper.
That's true.
It's true.
That's true.
I figured you'd like that one. Before COVID, people made fun of preppers. Now they're asking how to get started.
Which
That's a
is
good
great
start.
For you.
That's a good
I know, that's good.
Yeah, you're ahead of the game.
Yeah,
there.
he's doing pretty good.
So, our good friend John, who's normally with us, he sent this today. I'll let you read it.
It's strange to work in a hospital. You know, in one room, there's a father holding his son for the first time. In another room, there's a son holding his father for the last time. And then in another room, there's a guy with a remote stuck in his anus. It's usually not a remote.
thought that
But
was
yep,
good.
it's true.
You speak from experience.
Well, I know.
My family car decals get too real,
Oh, shit. Oh,
Why would you advertise?
right? Especially all the kids, right? I
You
mean,
know that car does not have insurance.
yeah.
I was just going to say, that's a lot of little ones.
That's funny.
Hey, Ryan Burt. That's a name I don't know. Go back.
Hey, that's my
That's
uncle.
my brother.
Oh, there you go.
Right dog.
Sorry.
Oh, shit. Sorry, Ryan.
Welcome, Ryan.
They're all
Very cool.
kicked,
I'm
banned.
so sorry.
That fucking-
I was just gonna say hi, but like all of that just happened.
I don't usually kick people off here unless they get.
No, there was one
belligerent.
dude
We did.
that
We had
you
a
kicked
guy.
off that was like, my penis is hard, and I was like, what the fuck?
I'm looking at the.
And then he's gone, and I
we're
was like,
live,
oh,
and
you
I'm
didn't
reading
even
the
let me,
comments, and I'm
go
like,
after him. Like
nope,
I would
you're
have
gone.
loved that. I'd have been like, how hard is it?
See ya.
Good for him.
Talk to me, big boy.
In this economy, you can still get hard. Wow.
Good job, bro. Is it past your belly button? Because if it's not, like, it's not the biggest one I've seen. I'm just like,
Oh man.
although,
What?
yeah, squirrel.
Squirrel.
There is more than once I've had to say that to patients.
What?
You know, that's not the biggest one I've seen today. Really just kills it.
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
Just saying. Although it is really not fun when you walk in and they're like,
You're like, you want to bet? And they just start swinging it around.
yeah, I'm like, yeah, you want to bet? And like, not even
Like,
impressive.
damn,
bro. Not even
they
top
called my
five.
bluff.
Like, not even
put that
top
thing away.
five. Just saying.
All right, so let's talk about you guys. Let's talk about your store. Let's talk about how you guys got started. I
Well,
love.
first, who are they? What is it?
All right. Well, let me
That's
start.
kind of the obvious.
We're just two dudes trying to get by.
Hey, see, I like that,
Bro, I
like
got you
that.
on that.
Yeah, so we own Practical Tactical and Prep. Our parent company name is actually called Stratus Safety and Security, something that started long ago when I was an IT consultant. So that's kind of shaped the parent company. And then in 2017, I started the prepper business itself, right? Just focusing on prep products. I take it around with making my own things, but also selling prep products. And then as we morphed our business plan and philosophy, you know, one of the key things about prepping is, number one, is you have to be able to know what your defense mechanism is, what you're willing to do to defend
Right.
yourself. So as my wife and I talked, and we started to incorporate the family and Aaron, you know, not the family and Aaron, family including Aaron.
I'm the whole family.
Right?
Are you the only kid?
No,
Oh.
he's the oldest of three, though.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
God, no, you said like there was like 13 of you, like you were that fucking van. So.
I mean, we're LDS.
Oh, if you've only one of four, then you're not doing it right.
Each of our three kids are all married, so we actually picked up now we have
Extras.
6 kids, we call them, and actually Aaron and his wife just gave us our 5th grandchild. So
Oh, congratulations!
5. Holy cow.
I know, and it's hard to believe I only look 29 years old. Right?
Seriously.
So we got our license to start the prep business, and it's just kind of something I did in the side. It was more of a hobby, more of a blog, sell a few products here and there. But again, went down the path of you got to be able to defend yourself. Wife and I talked, said, got to get the FFL, right? And I'm a lifelong gun person, ardent Second Amendment, like to the point where Second Amendment is, what do you think we should be able to own? You know, what size plane can you buy? Kind of thing. What kind of tank can I fit in my backyard? That's
Right.
Yeah.
that's how much I support the Second Amendment. So it was kind of a natural evolution. Again, though, our business philosophy starts with defense. And we say you have moments to decide how you're going to defend yourself. So it's up to a gun, but what's the minimum defense you're willing to do? All right, so that's kind of how we got started. Talked Aaron into leaving his full-time job.
It didn't take a lot of convincing.
I can see you were very, very like. soft.
I quit my
Guns
job
and
a
prep,
month
I don't know.
early before we even opened the business.
I was being polite.
You were just getting. You were getting ready. You were like, "Oh, I feel like Dad's like telling me we're gonna
Yeah.
do something."
I'm gonna go ahead and quit and speed this along.
And then I'll just be ready. Like, Dad, we need to do something. I don't have a job.
So what did you do beforehand?
Gosh. Okay. So I worked at a gateway company. I was doing basically tech support for them. And
Credit card gateway.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
basically, they were the security from the device you're using to run your credit card, and we're the security of the process moving it from here to the processor itself. So we're like
Okay.
that middle security.
That middle part.
And it was a fine job, but didn't really care for my boss. It was an interesting situation where at our old job, I was his boss, and now at this job, he was my boss. It was a really weird dynamic
Right.
thing. Yeah, but
I have
You're
the
like,
same
how did we get
philosophy,
here?
But it's certainly not my own philosophy. Is that if you're doing what you enjoy, you're never working a day. In
Right.
your life,
Doesn't matter.
So I'm
100%.
fortunate to be doing two things that I thoroughly enjoy. And there are times when you get into corporate America, it's still work. But essentially, what I still do on my day job is something enjoyable.
Yeah.
So Aaron and I actually, as he got older, he started to get into the gun side of things, the firearm side of things as well. It's kind of funny. We set it up now at a competitor, not then at a competitor. We were consumers, but one of those Black Friday sales at
Yeah.
a very popular place on the
Yeah.
other side of the valley that you sit out all night.
and to the point that you're about to make is I was always into guns, didn't care to spend my own money on it. So for the longest time, the only thing I owned was a shotgun that he got me for, what was it, birthday or Christmas, right?
Yeah.
Christmas,
Yeah.
because
Yep.
me and my brother got one. And I just didn't want to spend the money on it until
Right.
that Black Friday is about to talk about. And then I kind of just
We,
loaded up.
we stood in line in the rain, sleeping in our car for 20 some odd hours.
Yeah.
And Aaron bought his first guns. And since then, it's been kind of like a little evolution of this Glock to this SIG to this next SIG to this, this other Glock. And every time
Yeah.
I turn around, I'm finding stuff in my cart at my suppliers. I'm like, dude, why are we buying this?
Well, it was really
for the
nice.
store.
And-
or
Like, if
could
it
be
doesn't
for me.
sell, then I'll buy it.
Sell it.
He's like, I'll put it out for a couple months.
Yeah.
And then
I'll
it
take off
sells
your
a week
hands.
later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take it off
And
your
then
hands.
you're like,
We have this thing though in the store where we buy things for ourselves, and like, hey, if it doesn't sell, I'll take it, right? So
How many times have we done that with the Legion?
The X5
4
Legion. I have
times.
sold 4 or 5 X5 Legions that are my damn fucking guns, right? And you keep buying them, people.
he's like, damn it.
But I love the Sig 320 X5 Legion. It's a beautiful gun. We keep it in stock. The first one though, I had to go on a wait list, the whole thing, and then somebody bought it. I was like,
It was a family friend, JD. Good
bye
for
bye.
him.
At least it's still close, so you can see it at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Like a
good
step
thing
kid,
now-
at least you get
the
to
good thing
see
now
it.
is you can order them and get them replaced. So we just got a new one today, and I, lit some candles. Around
Did
it.
you love it? And you're like, nobody but you.
I gave it a
Nobody.
little quick rub
You
down.
put it a little like nobody.
rubbed it like
you're
a
gonna.
genie lamp.
You're gonna come with me. You're gonna come with me.
Daddy's home, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And then as they get taken out, you're like,
No
So I was reading
trainer.
what my dad said up there. You bought him enough toilet paper to wipe all of
Hey.
Pinal County.
you want to know what? Shh. We went to Costco and we had to restock.
See, you're prepared.
It's
right?
been since literally pre-Rona when I stocked up last time that I bought toilet paper.
That's true. It don't
So
last
what?
very
A
long.
year and a half?
Yeah.
So shush. You're welcome.
He's just jealous he's not stockpiled like you are.
Right. Well, he might be now.
You might be now.
Just so.
It's literally 2 of them, and I bought them 2 like big, huge Costco. Yeah, it might be one.
Yeah.
The only thing about toilet paper, though, all those people stocked up on it, you're eventually going to use it.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's not
yeah.
going to go
Well,
anywhere,
it's not gonna
and
go
it's
waste.
not going to go bad.
Except for you've seen the memes where when this was happening, they were buying up all the toilet paper, and then
Yeah.
the people who can't afford the toilet paper try to
you-
return, and they're like, "What are you doing? I'm not buying your shit
I'm
to
not
get
buying
back."
it. So there was a lady on the side of the road that I was all like super.
Oh, I remember that.
You remember that because
yeah.
I was selling the car to DJ,
Mm-hmm.
and so we were driving down to go like get the title signed and everything. We're driving down, and there's this lady in the back of her car with the back of her like truck filled up with toilet paper, selling on the side of the road, and I wanted to be like, "Bitch, you're the problem."
Well, that's not as bad as watching the people use their garbage cans to fill up gas when gas.
Oh,
comes.
yeah,
So that's
yeah,
just
yeah.
embarrassing.
Or
That's-
you remember
that
the
just,
pictures
you know.
going around? They were filling their like
trash
grocery
bags.
bags and
Yeah.
shit with gas.
Or they would line their truck beds up, and
Yeah.
like it was a hot tub in the back, just fill it with gas. Idiots.
Well, you want to know what?
That's not how you prep, by the way. Don't.
They're the ones who keep us, in the hospital and business.
Yeah. If you ever want to see something interesting, put gas in the milk out here.
Ryan says, I cooked dinner tonight out of my stockpile as I didn't want to grocery shop. See that?
We've only done that
eventually
like
you'll
once,
do
and
it.
it
That's the
makes
best way
me
to do it, though,
nervous.
right?
Yeah.
You use that in your stockpile, and when you grocery shop, you replenish the stockpile. So
See?
your stockpile is not old and aged.
I know we need to start doing that. We don't do
Yeah.
that.
Oh, it's hard, especially in a two-story house when you get old like me. And your stockpile's upstairs.
Upstairs.
I'm sure your supplies, not your stockpile.
Pete-
I don't have
all
a
our
stockpile.
stuff,
I have
all of
a
our stuff is
stockpile.
downstairs. But
Okay.
like, even with the freezer, I'm like, oh, should I pull this out and thaw it? He's like, no, I'll just go to the store. And I'm like, okay.
It's fresh. It's already thawed.
PJ,
Exactly.
PJ, a family friend of ours, and he's at our store once a week too. He's a good guy. His rule is rule of 5. So everything that you buy 5 of. And so when you
Oh, I'm good with that.
so he always has 5 stocked, and then once he uses the 5 that he has, that he's
Then he
the
buys
stock
5
and then
new?
the use 5 new again. Yeah, he does Costco a lot.
You kind of do that, though.
I can't go to
But you kind of do that.
I do that all the time.
You have a big stock in the closet, and then when you get down to
I have a problem.
15, you go buy more.
I know I have a problem.
Well, there's certain luxuries in life you want to make sure you have.
Exactly.
You know, if the shit ever does hit the fan,
I'm like, those cans of
Charmin
corn.
toilet paper is going to be preferable over sandpaper.
It's going to be a commodity.
Just saying.
It's going to be a
Well, and I'm
commodity.
just saying that can of corn.
There aren't
It's
really
water
pleasant
and
leaves
food. I'm
here.
just saying.
Yeah.
Yep. I grew up on the league things.
Yeah. Well, I had to use snow
Yeah.
in Montana.
You want to know what? You're a
That's not
boy, not a
fun.
girl. Shut up. You don't have to wipe every time.
Everybody's
okay?
anus is just as sensitive to cold weather. I'm sorry. There's no excuse in that.
Once it puckers up, it spits everything out. So
Hey, but at least it moisturizes at the same time, right?
Frostbite on my asshole.
Michelle Howard
would be
says
my mom.
hello.
That's my bun.
Oh, that's your boo boo?
Yeah.
Hi, Michelle.
Hey, Michelle.
I'm so sorry they let you at home.
We could have brought her, but then we'd have some F-bombs in this place.
Did you see Ryan's comment?
Have you met me?
I cooked dinner tonight out of my stockpile because I didn't want to go grocery shopping.
Yeah, I put that up a minute ago.
Also, another option.
How long does food last in a can? That's a great question. I mean,
Technically, per them or per for real?
Yes. There's
Or
two-
if you're the
there's
one
two-
doing
two
it.
guidelines, right? The legal guideline that they'll put on the can because they don't want to be sued because
Because
something happened.
technically,
And
yeah.
then there's actually what the fuck is edible,
right.
right? And depending on your scenario,
Well, and edible depending on what scenario.
edible is all debate.
Is
I mean,
all,
In a
it's all
real pinch,
perception.
you can actually, legally, they have to make dog food edible for humans.
It is.
Yep.
It's not
You know
bad.
what's something even crazier? The purple mattress, which I own and I love, edible.
What?
Yeah. So literally, that's, I don't know
Okay,
why I
I
know
want to
this.
first of all, I want to first of all ask
Yeah.
how you know that
Okay,
question.
so when you buy it, they give you like a
Like,
sheet
is
of all this
that
cool
there?
information. Yeah, it's one of the things that in the
Are you
list. I swear to
serious?
God. So the two major
So is it
things on
preppers
it.
that own the company?
No, I have no idea. No, but it's
Probably because they're like, make a mattress is fucking edible. I bet you
no,
can.
it's literally the only bed that scientists got together and made. Hey, let's make a bed. So like this is the only thing that's ever been made by
Like
a scientist
scientifically
for
made.
sleeping. Yes. And they did it's in a honeycomb shape, so it actually keeps you cool and all this stuff. And
Yeah,
the material
yeah, meh,
itself,
meh, meh.
it's not nutritional at all, but
Oh,
it's
no,
edible.
but, like, you
and you can
won't
literally
die.
strip it, put it in your backyard, hose it down, and it's good to go again. Like it's amazing. Yeah. I'll never
Wow.
I'll never have to buy another bed in my entire life.
So just for clarity, you can eat it. It won't kill you.
Right.
But you're not getting any sustenance.
You're not
Like I
getting
said,
nothing
it's
out
not
of it.
nutritional.
So
like,
it's
there's
probably
nothing to
all
it.
carbs.
Yeah.
So you won't die.
But it'll fill your belly.
So if you wake up, you want a snack, you just cut a little piece
Yeah.
off.
Why not? Yeah. Go from a queen down to a
The
full
wife,
and
the wife rolls
This
over.
morning.
The wife rolls over and he's all.
yeah.
She's like, "What are you eating?" Nothing. And he's all got an indent in his on his side
My
of the
legs
bed.
hanging off. Well, it
I
already
know.
does, but
She's like, "What the hell?"
Ryan says edible is a scale of hunger, and I guess that's a good way of putting it. That's true.
Absolutely.
rather eat my bed than my kids.
Right.
So
Well, I don't know. Do you have a fat kid? Because he might be.
no, I was
dis-
skinny
that's
all my life,
disturbing.
and I think my kids will be too.
We did a show on the Human Meat Project. We don't need to go down that road.
Or you can
That was not
you
fun.
just bulk up like me, and then you don't have to.
Then you're
good to
good.
go.
You're good to
Yeah.
This is prepping.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
You should make a shirt that's like prepping
I'm
is
not fat,
over.
I'm prepped.
Yeah. Prepping is
I've
over.
won prep.
Yeah, I'm fucking out
Prepping is
prepping all of
over
you.
and XXL or
That's
something.
right. Darius, make that shirt, baby.
You know how like in the Asian cultures they'll have the doors that if you can fit through, you eat for free or you
Yeah.
get a discount.
Yeah.
It'd be the opposite. How prepped are you?
Yeah, you're gonna be
If
like,
you fit
oh.
through this, you're not that prepped.
Yeah, you're not ready yet, bro. You're not ready. So sorry.
So I want to jump into something that I found on your guys' website, and I'll bring this up. This is what we use for our
Did you
news.
say
Lord.
oh at the same time I did?
You guys both said
Oh,
it.
oh shit! I'm in charge now.
No, yeah,
What do I-
you're in charge. Just hit the space bar. You can keep going. Okay, so
That was a
that's-
very serious picture, by
that's
the
her
way.
episode. I love
And
that
that
picture.
was 4 days after surgery. That's why I look like I'm in pain, because I was.
She was. So I thought this was really cool. I got this off your website, and I kind of want to get into that a little bit. So I want to talk about,
I like the first one.
I think a lot of people, when they think about prepping, automatically, I know for me, because I love this shit. This is a topic I could talk about all day long. I love The Walking Dead. I love all those apocalyptic movies. But you and I had a great conversation the other day when I came into the store, saying it goes much further than that, because obviously we all know the odds of a zombie apocalypse is pretty low.
Unfortunately.
I don't know.
But-
It's happening now.
But I do want to mention something about those movies that I enjoy, about those shows, is the zombies, they all become like an afterthought. The real
It's
threat
everything else.
is people, is humans.
Humans.
Oh, humans are awful.
And that's the conversation you and I had
Most
the other
dangerous
day.
animal on the planet.
Right, right.
Is a human being.
So I have a serious question.
Yeah.
Probably way too much, way too soon. Would you kill somebody? Trying to come in and take the house?
So Dustin and I were talking about that the other day. What length would you go, and could you kill somebody? And my answer has always been, if my life
He's
and my
the nice
family's
one.
life is in danger, absolutely 100%.
Good.
I will take
In
their
that
life.
second, though, in that second, are you going to double think about it?
No.
Well, that's the point of that first thing. It's you have moments to decide how to defend yourself, but you have now till that moment to decide. If you don't spend that
If
time
you're
learning-
okay with it.
and you got to decide when you buy a gun. If you have to buy a gun and you're not willing to actually use that gun, then you bought a gun for somebody else probably to use against you.
Against you.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
you have got to take a lot of time to think about what you're willing to do. Are you willing to kill somebody? Are you willing to hurt somebody? Are you willing to maim somebody? Or are you just willing to be punked?
Yeah. So
Right.
that was my, and it was really good for me. So I was 19, 20 when I took my first CCW
It was
class.
1920. You don't look that way.
It was 1920. I look great.
This was good for a raise, aren't you? Yeah.
It's because I've been a hooker my whole life.
Not a day over 102.
Not a day. So I took my first CCW class, and I took it for the women. Like, I took the women's class, which, whatever. In all honesty, I took it because it was $20 cheaper. But let's be real. But I think it was really good because the first thing, and it was a dude teaching it, go figure. The first thing the guy said was, are you willing to kill somebody? When you pull that gun out, that is your decision. Before you even pull that gun out. Because he said you're not gonna flail it around, you're not gonna show it off, it's not gonna be one of these see whose, penis is bigger than the other ones. You pull that gun out to pull the trigger to kill somebody.
Yep.
Absolutely.
You have to be okay with that.
If you must.
If you're
Right,
not okay
right.
with that, then you need to leave this class.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, what? And it took me a minute. But why would I pull out a gun? I'm going to pull out a gun because you're trying to kill me. And my life is more important than yours because you made that decision to come after mine.
Yep.
Yeah.
Period.
Well, to that point, though, and let me know if you agree with this, but if somebody's willing to harm you, they've already thought about it. They're already in the process. They already
already
know
done
what
their
they're
thinking.
exactly. So you don't have that time to think.
Nope.
You don't have that time to contemplate.
Well, that's
No.
why we reiterate.
So-
You have from now till the moment you need to know.
Right.
To plan and think
Yep.
it through. And what I mean by that is start thinking about it now. Because
Yeah.
inevitably, sometime in everybody's life, you will have a situation
Where
that you
somebody's
will
gonna
face
harm you.
Where you have to decide the level of force which you're willing to use to defend yourself, but here's the thing, and others, right?
True.
So now my son here has 2 children under 2 years old, right? He probably has a different perspective.
Than he did before
5
he
years
had
ago,
kids.
4 years ago when he married his wife, 2 years ago when his first child was born.
Yep.
Right?
Absolutely.
Completely different. I have a whole different outlook on life. I obviously have my wife for 31 years. I have 3 children. My youngest will be 29, right? And then they each have a spouse, and then I have 5 grandchildren. And don't
So
ask
now
me,
that's all
don't ask me
changed.
who I would kill
Right.
in defense of those 5 children because we don't have enough time in your podcast.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You're like, everyone?
Every fucking buddy.
Yep.
Right? Because that's what I'll do to defend those children.
Yeah.
They're beautiful children, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but the point is, for anybody listening, anybody reiterating, you've got to have that thought
You have to
process
be
now.
already
can't-
made
you have
that
moments.
decision.
That's why our
Yeah.
meme there says you have moments.
Right.
And the moment you have is the
Is
reaching.
that moment.
Reaching, you're beating them
Yep.
to the punch.
Yep.
But-
Absolutely.
Because you already know what you're going to do. Mm-hmm. You don't have a moment to go, what
And
should
you
I do?
already know that when you pull that gun, you're pulling the trigger. They're pulling
You
it and
expect
waving
to.
it around.
Yep.
Let me ask you another question on that class, right? That kind of put you into that perspective of,
Yeah.
well, I have this gun, and yes, I have to be willing to kill somebody, right?
Okay, I'm ready.
So think about this. Do you own a gun, and do you carry it every day? Because if you don't, why do you have a gun?
Well, I don't really leave the house every day because I work from
But
home.
when you do.
Usually,
We usually do.
And
We
on the
usually
other
carry.
side of that
50%
is,
of the time.
and on the other side of that is, do you leave it in the car when you get home?
so every time, so prior to meeting Keith, I was a nurse, so I worked in healthcare. I took it with me every day and I left it in the car because they can't take it on property. I was actually working with security at the hospital I worked at to get a gun safe locker that I could lock it up because I hated leaving it in the car. I'm like,
Right.
somebody's gonna steal my fucking
That's
car and
exactly
steal my
right.
gun.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I had no other option. It's either that or don't drive with it, and then
Right.
I get killed at the grocery store on the way home. Like, so they don't fit really well in scrubs, by the way. Just so you know. Pulls your pants down too
Yeah,
much.
can't really hide.
Oh my
Pulls
God.
your pants down too much.
I
But
wear my gun with basketball shorts.
terrible.
It's
terrible.
a contest.
Yeah, and like
Right.
you tighten it really tight.
Yep.
You have to make sure you have the drawstring ones. But I was working with security to get a gun safe room to be like, can I bring it? Like, I'll bring you my CCW, show you that I'm good to carry it. Like, I'm going to bring it to you. We're going to lock it up in the safe. Like, I'll take the lock with me. Go when I leave. I'll come here and pick it up on the way home. And I was so close to getting it done. And then I transferred hospitals.
Yeah.
And now fuck them.
So I work security for a living, electronic security. And when I was a technician, we were not allowed to carry in any of our vehicles.
Yeah.
So at that time, I did not carry. But since now I work from home, most of the time I will carry with me when I go in the vehicle.
Other than
Sometimes-
going to the
sometimes
gym,
to the gym, I usually
Because your
don't take it
basketball
with
pants
me.
don't hold.
Right.
When
exactly.
I get home and then like the wife wants ice cream or something like that or whatever it is, and I have to
Yeah.
run to the gas station, right?
Yeah.
And I out of a habit, I immediately grab it. I keep it in my bag.
But it's 100% a habit.
But here's the part though. That part's a habit.
Yeah.
Making sure I bring it with me into the car. But then I have to contemplate in my head when
Take
I
it
finally
out of the
park,
car. Yeah.
do I actually want to take the time to put it over my shoulder,
Yeah.
put it on my chest, and then walk in? I'm only going to be there for 5 seconds.
Right, right.
But that,
that
5
5
seconds
seconds,
is when that somebody
well,
comes
and
in with
somebody
the
could be
gun.
robbing
and
the
that's
store,
the point. If
somebody
you're going to
could-
own
yeah.
a gun, you should always have it
All
on you
the
when you
time.
can.
And that's what I was going to say too. Is I bet you if you ask people that anything have happened to, it was a quick thing they were
Right.
doing, or
Yeah.
they were just there for a minute.
The
They
one
never would have
time I
thought
didn't
something
have-
would have
Yeah.
happened, you know. And that's when you're right. That's when it
Absolutely.
happens.
100%.
I wear mine in the house, right? Just because, like, somebody could.
We have them
literally kick
stashed in the
door.
house.
Yeah. Well, that's it. No, we don't.
No, I'm so sorry. Seymour has them. Seymour.
Right.
Seymour.
It's a cat.
The
I
cat
actually don't own
has
any
all the
guns.
guns.
I sell guns. I don't own any.
You don't know that,
There you
you
go.
right?
We don't.
No,
we
but
don't
they
get
keep-
high on our own
They
supply.
keep buying them from you. You don't get to take anything
That's right. I don't
home.
get to take anything home. Dang it.
So you're not the dude that was in the meme earlier?
He's going to plead the fifth on that one.
Hello, Lurkin.
Look,
That's Ashley.
Oh, hi,
Larkin.
Ashley.
That's
Lurkin Llama.
That's my daughter-in-law.
Oh, there you go. Is that yours?
No,
Oh.
my other son,
Well, you said daughter-in-law. I
Yeah,
didn't
so-
know. How There's 3 of them, obviously.
who's also in IT.
Oh, very cool.
That's my middle
No
child.
effort.
See,
Dad just called me out.
I know. It's funny because when you're in IT and you do what you do, and I do security, we're more aware of stuff like that because it's in our industry, right?
humans
I
are
mean,
awful.
And in particular, I'm in IT. I'm in IT security. I'm in IT governance, disaster recovery, things like that. So there's a number of things around the security. Security always includes physical security.
Right,
I
right.
can take out your entire systems. If my goal is
Done.
to affect availability, then a physical attack is just as
Yeah.
prominent as,
Right.
as an electronic attack.
Absolutely.
And then from a disaster recovery perspective, or business continuity in particular, you're always looking at the plan. What am I going to do in this scenario? What do I do here? What do I do there? So that mindset, plus Boy Scouts as a child, growing up LDS and always planning, right? But that Boy Scout motto, be prepared, has resonated with me my whole life, right? So I have a series of perfect storm situations that made me a prepper.
Right.
Right? Never, I mean, we've had the pandemic.
The
we've had all these
900
other
different
things.
scenarios? Gee, who does that?
A good prepper.
Me
Exactly.
in my head
Exactly.
all the time.
So what? This is a great question then for you guys. I have my opinion on it, but so there's a certain stigma that surrounds preppers, right? And there's been probably for the last 10, 15 years, I would say more so than ever before. Would you agree with that?
Oh
Or?
yeah, and there are some of the stigma is actually well deserved. You get some there are some people that are, there's
Extremists.
It's the doomsday prepper that kind of
yeah.
gets the rap,
Yeah.
the bad rap.
Right.
Well, do you remember that episode? Did you watch Doomsday Preppers?
I did. I watched it a lot.
There was
I actually
that one
enjoyed
lady,
it.
her entire prep, and I'm going to drop a few F-bombs because I get so fucking pissed off how stupid that particular show was. But her entire prep was putting up plastic and sanitizing everything. What a fucking dumbass.
That's not helping you at all.
One person breaks her window, she's screwed.
That's
you-
hurting yourself,
you ate
actually.
your dinner, right? And you were sanitized. Now you got to go into the world. What else did you prep? And so
Yeah.
I feel bad for her because that's the show probably
That's
made her look
sad.
stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if that was,
But that's sad for her if that's truly her, honey. Do some research.
Yeah.
well, in that same thinking, they did come to her and go, "Hey, we're doing a show about preppers. What do you want to show us?" And that's what she.
That's what she chose.
So,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But so you do have that creates, I think, things like that. And I don't want to dog on her too much because there were a couple others on the show that are also kind of came off as weird, right? But what is wrong? I mean, we were talking about this yesterday. I'm old enough to remember that 50, 60, 70 years ago, things like having a food supply wasn't considered to be some sort of whack job prepper.
No.
That was
Not
what
at all.
you did.
What happens-
Because you couldn't go to the grocery store
Every
just
day.
on demand. You
No.
couldn't get Instacart to bring you stuff,
Right.
right? So I grew up at a time on the tail end. I'm the youngest of my family, and my dad grew up on a farm here in Cottonwood that had no running water and all that stuff, right? So I've got the information, I've got the stories. I may not have had to live it that way, but growing up, we also had food supply.
Yeah,
Right.
you had at
It
least a
wasn't
week's
abnormal to
you
me.
had at least a
Right.
week's worth of
Oh,
food.
and the LDS, we had a year.
Easily.
Yeah.
Well,
Right.
but easily
Yeah.
because my
Yeah.
mom was a teacher. My dad had his own business and does tires, and we went to the grocery store once a week.
Yeah.
Period.
Well, why
like
is
you
it
knew
so-
what meals you were making all week.
Oh,
you
yeah.
had all that set up.
My mom knew
So-
Monday through Friday what we were eating.
Done.
Yeah. Yep.
And
Yep.
she knew that the week ahead of time. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't that crazy to have 10, 20, 30 pounds of meat sitting in your freezer.
Well,
and now people look at you
This is what
crazy.
we've done, though, in society these days, through the media and through all these things, where that's what we were talking about yesterday. I think, the people in our economy, they want you to just go out and buy on demand.
It's been turned
Yeah.
Of course
into that
it is.
consumer world where it's
It
not
absolutely
it's not
is.
how long will this last me, it's how cheap is it so that I can buy it again when it breaks.
Right.
And it's the
Absolutely.
same mentality when you
Absolutely.
take that to the food.
We've
Well,
made
it's
it-
fast and convenient.
It's
We've
right now.
made it
Right.
abnormal for you to actually be self-dependent.
Absolutely.
It's true. Yeah. 100%.
Absolutely.
We've
Oh, yeah.
actually
100%.
We mock people
Yep.
who have a food supply,
Yep.
who have an animal
And
supply.
who
Why
have
do you need that
who
many
have a
bullets?
garden
Or
and
chickens.
who have chickens
Right.
and who have
Yeah.
we just talked about getting chickens.
Move your mic a little closer to you. They're saying they're having a hard time.
I want
hearing.
chickens. I want chickens.
Yeah. You can't be too loud. Trust me.
Yeah.
You can't be louder than me.
I'm
That's
just
totally
getting over
fine.
that little tickle from the holiday
Welcome.
chick, so I don't want everybody to hear.
No, that's from the dogs usually.
Yeah,
that
I'll blame it on the
usually-
dog.
There you go. You could.
Grew up your whole life blaming the dog in the fart.
Yep.
not blaming
Yeah.
the dog
Why
in
not?
the-
We do.
Oh
We do
my
it all the time.
God, seriously.
Yeah. So back to that. I think a strong set of people like preppers just work through that. You can call me strange. You can call me whatever.
Don't bother
but
me at
you'll
all.
call me fucking taken care of when a scenario happens and you're over there fucking trying to riot
Oh,
at the grocery store.
you're gonna remember me then, aren't
and
you,
I'm gonna be sitting
fuckers?
there watching you.
You're like, I'm
with my
good,
stack
bro.
of toilet paper.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong.
See, Dad, we're gonna be ready.
The limited knowledge I do have about the LDS faith. Is it true that your household is supposed to have a supply for you and each neighbor surrounding you? Is that how that works? I heard that.
Ideally,
I
I
heard
think
that
it is.
sometime.
That I don't really know because I'm kind of an inactive member now that as an adult. I still believe all the basic tenets and principles of the church. I'm not a very social person.
Right.
He's
But
like,
so I
I-
grew up in it, and those things were the responsibility of my father. That wouldn't surprise me. Mormon LDS are very giving and caring people,
Right.
so it
Yeah.
would not surprise me to hear.
So you want to be
that the
ready for you
expectation
and then
is-
your people.
And I was going to
Which
say,
makes
even if that
sense.
wasn't actually true, I could see how that would easily have been a story that was
Absolutely.
told because
Absolutely.
it probably is just true for everyone
Right.
that it would be a thing, even
Yeah.
though it may not be an actual, hey, you're LDS, now guess
Well,
what? Make sure you're supplied for your neighbors.
So
you
your
know?
neighbors too. Well, think about it too. In the Bible, it says take care of you and your neighbors. I mean, it all depends on how you're going to interpret that.
Well, if you're not taking care of your neighbor, are they your enemy too?
Right.
They
Right.
become your risk right next to you. One of the
Absolutely.
things I love
You're
about
like,
where
do I
live-
like you that much or
Yep.
do I not?
my next
My
door
neighbor's
neighbor,
an ICU nurse, so we like him.
There you go.
My neighbor next to me, he has the desert, so the whole desert's right next to him. And so, I make sure that, hey, need any ammo? Get your mags for your guns? Because I need to know that southern perimeter on the desert's covered.
It's covered. Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly.
I'm like,
100%.
we got the perfect because we're on
That's
the corner.
right.
We got the patio in the back and the patio in the
Yep.
front. I'm like, I got the back.
I
Who's
need
got
to
the
make sure
front?
you got my six there, neighbor.
You got that side. I'm just making sure
Yep.
you're good, bro. What do you need? You need
Yep.
some 9, you need some 38s. What you need?
Good question, Christine. Did you do any prepping in 1999 for Y2K when everyone was afraid of everything going to shut
See,
down?
but
I
you
have a
were the
unique
IT
perspective.
guy,
Yep.
so
was
you
gonna say.
knew what was going on.
I have a unique perspective because I knew.
I
that
worked
whole
in the
thing was-
hospital during that time.
I knew that.
It
whole
was
thing
awesome.
horseshit.
Yeah.
I mean, like much of anything anymore, where you hear about these pandemics or these viruses or whatever major thing is happening, it's all designed around the fear factor. And the Y2K was sure there was a small chance of it,
100%.
but every system just rolled right back over
Yeah.
and did its thing. There was no big major thing. So
No.
We did so much ridiculous stuff
Oh,
in the
so much.
hospital. Oh my god.
well, think about we created.
We
entire
literally
industries
printed like
off the fear
everybody's
That's true.
chart the
That's
night
true,
before.
yeah.
Of course, I worked the night before. It was great. Like printed everybody's chart, had everything ready for paper, had everything ready. We had stacks of stuff.
factor. Oh wow.
Because
Like
they
medical
didn't-
records, things like that, just
All
the
medical
patient
records was
systems
on the
were-
computer. So we literally printed everything out, had everything ready, had stacks of the whole patient's chart,
Yeah.
especially in the ICU because you have nothing else. When this computer goes down, our life is done.
Yeah, and I should make it
So-
clear, we went around on the IT side of things, and we were updating systems and going to the latest version of things. But so
It
we
is-
did everything
yeah.
we could to avoid it. But I just always
We
had
didn't
that
have
gut
any
feeling that
issues.
It's a 2-digit date code. It wasn't
Yeah.
going to kill anything.
Yeah.
But to that earlier point, I think the fear factor within the media has been around most of my life, and I think they create entire
100%.
industries.
Based off of that.
Capitalism.
Absolutely.
And I'm not
Absolutely.
anti-capitalism at all. I'm a fucking capitalist, believe me. But I think we create entire industries based off that.
Actually, I
I
was
was
4.
just-
I just cried when the clock was about to turn over.
But true to that statement though. I mean, they made it like the world
Oh,
was going
it was
to end.
like the world was gonna end.
Yeah,
It was terrible.
It was crazy.
Yeah, actually, I think we had one of our best New Year's Eve parties where we had a dress-up costume, that whole thing.
Nice.
I wasn't even on call.
You're like, I don't care. Let it implode.
There was that, and then the Mayan calendar thing.
Oh yeah,
Oh, God,
2012 wasn't it? 2012. Yeah,
I wasn't worried.
Yeah,
the world
no,
was going to end.
I wasn't
and
worried
I was
either.
like, I think
I had
we're
my
good.
toilet paper. I wasn't going to worry.
He was laying on his purple mattress. He's like, I'm good
Yeah,
for
I
like
got-
a
I
year.
can eat this for a
Purple, I
few
can eat
months. I'll
baby.
be fine.
I got all this.
Come here,
I'm
kids. Come
good.
eat the mattress.
Poop grosses me out, but I'd like to see one poop of a purple.
purple
A
mattress.
purple mattress.
Will it come out shaped
It's
like
a
a little
purple.
mattress?
good
It's a
fertilizer
purple
for
poop.
shrooms.
It's a purple poop. It's like the purple people eater. It's the purple bed eater.
That's right.
Oh, you're gonna love our Wacky Wednesday file later. That's pretty funny.
I don't even know what it is. Oh Lord, I'm scared.
You read it.
Hey, so the second one on there.
Yeah,
I think
I was-
the former nurse here would love this, but we put most first aid as your last thing,
Yep.
but your emergency first aid. So one of the things I learned in the Marine Corps, start the bleeding, stop the bleeding, right? Emergency first aid in the Marine Corps when your compatriot gets shot here or whatever it is, your job as a
Stop
Marine
bleeding.
is start the breathing,
Start breathing.
stop the bleeding. Those are the two things I
Yep.
have to do, right? So that's why I said you do have seconds. Though. So that's the crazy part. People look at me and go, "Wait a minute." That's less important than the time you have to defend yourself? Absolutely. You could choke for 30 seconds.
Right.
You could bleed for several minutes.
Yep.
And I could still save your life, or I
Yeah.
could stop that and get you
Like you
somewhere.
can bleed, I
Right.
can still shoot 3 people,
That's
and then I
right.
can go back and take care of you. You're
I
good.
have time. I'm going to call it seconds, though, not minutes.
Yeah, you have
Right?
time because it depends.
But I'd rather not cause long term, right?
Yeah.
But the fact is, you have seconds to get that breathing started.
Well, you
and
have
the bleeding
you have
stops.
seconds.
But that's way more time
to
than you have to choose out how to
evaluate.
defend yourself.
Yeah, what you need to
Way
do.
more. It's a lifetime more.
Oh, yeah.
Than the amount of
Oh,
time
yeah.
you have to defend yourself.
Yep.
You have 2 seconds to realize that you're gonna have to shoot this
Well, shit.
fucker.
Even time slows down when you're choking. So
Yeah.
You're right.
you have a lifetime.
You're like, you're choking. We're good. I'm gonna shoot
Right, yeah.
these 2 guys. You good
He's
with
in
that?
the Matrix. Just,
You're right.
And he's on the back.
right.
Yeah.
Ryan says he was in
Totally.
Iceland for Y2K and it was Party Central.
Oh my god, I bet.
Heavy Metal Beer Club says funny to think no one was hoarding toilet paper for Y2K. I don't think that
Robin
it wasn't a big
Mader.
scare.
Hi, Robin.
That's my niece.
Hey, Rob.
Hi,
You got everybody on for the
There's
family.
so
tonight.
many
This is
people.
awesome. This is freaking awesome.
We're
hi,
love it.
people.
we got a big ass family, like 30 some odd, between my wife, her sister, and their kids and all so on and so forth. It's a fairly
Yeah,
big family.
there's just me.
And I love the fact, and thank you for your service, by the way.
Thank you.
But I love the fact that your store is family owned. I mean, that to me, it's
And
that's the
run.
American dream right
Absolutely.
there,
Yep.
right? I mean, that's awesome. I love that.
Well,
I
one of
love
the things
that.
we're doing differently in the store too. Aaron and I and my wife went around, visited. We did what we called the gun store tours. We went to gun stores and said, okay, what's a good idea? What's a bad idea?
Yeah.
And prevalent in almost every other gun store. I'm not going to criticize. I'm not going to name them by name. Not even going to tell you where we were. But that you walk in and nobody greets you. Nobody says, how can I help you? That is
Seriously.
one of the biggest complaints we get about when people come in and go,
You
know
just
what I
walk
like
in.
about the store?
Well, and then you're nervous. Like being a girl, I'm just gonna say that. Like being a girl, the first time I went and bought a gun, I was terrified already
Oh, yeah.
to begin with. Like you're already scared. You're walking in a gun store. There's all dudes. There's never a
We've
chick
had
there.
people thank us for how
And-
comfortable we
Yeah.
make them
Yeah,
feel.
and you feel weird already there, and then you walk up to the desk and you're like trying to yell at somebody to get their attention.
yeah.
And I don't have that.
And to your
problem at
point,
all.
we've worked
But-
around that as well too. You saw our store. How are our guns set up?
They're right out in the open for you to
So
touch.
for
and-
people like
and-
that, where
yeah,
they're
it was
already
awesome.
They're
nervous
not-
walking in,
yeah.
you
Yeah.
don't have to come up to me.
Right.
You don't
Yeah,
have to
it's
go.
not behind
Excuse me,
the
can I see
case,
this
behind
one?
it, yeah.
You don't
And
have
it's
to wait on
awkward.
us to
You-
stop what
Yeah.
we're
And we
doing.
tell them, feel free to pick anything up. Let
And
us
that
know
was
if you
the
have any
first-
questions.
That was the first
But
thing you
you're
told me when I walked through the
hollering
door.
because-
I didn't even know who you
yesterday.
were.
You didn't even know who I
Treated
was.
you like a
right,
regular
exactly.
customer.
You're like, hey, bro, what's up?
Yeah, it
but
was-
that's nice though because then you feel comfortable. Like then that guard is down,
Right.
Because you're like, okay, they already told me hi. They know I'm here, so it's not like I'm trying to steal something because then you get that weird like.
Yeah.
I'm at a
Well,
gun store,
and that
I'm
was
trying to
my
steal
first
something.
experience.
That place
in a
is
gun
still
store.
but
I don't think you want to steal from a gun store.
We have an
Like,
incinerator in the back, so we don't encourage
No,
stealing from our shop.
yeah, I wouldn't
That's what
encourage
pigs
that
are
either.
for.
Yeah,
That's right.
call it
No,
the
but
fertilizer.
my first gun store was in Vegas that I went to, and I walked in and I felt like I was treated like a criminal. Like this guy behind the counter was just staring at me, and he never said, "Hey, can I help you? What's up?"
or
nothing.
even good
Just
morning,
stared
good
at me for like
afternoon,
20
whatever.
minutes.
Just break
And
that
I'm like,
ice.
this feels weird. And I
Yeah.
just walked out. I'm like, no.
Well,
So
that was the one thing that stood out for us is just that level of service and knowing we were targeting the new user, the user who's been reading about it, watching
Wants
videos
to do
on
it like me.
wants to come
Wait,
in and
I
go.
took the class, but I didn't have a pistol, so I'm
Yep.
like, I bet probably should go get one now. Like, what's the point?
And all of a
having
sudden,
a
you come in
seat?
our store and they're on the damn table, wired
Like,
down,
it's right there,
right?
like-
you can go touch it, feel
Yep.
it.
Yeah.
And by the way, all we did was welcome you in the store
Yep.
and invite you to check
Yep.
out whatever
Yep.
you need
Absolutely.
to. And if you have any questions, please let us know.
Holler at
and then
us,
a
yeah.
little bit later, we go, hey, you got any questions for us?
Yeah.
Right?
'Cause
And
you
we've
don't
had
wanna-
So many people say this is such a more
That's
comfortable
awesome.
environment.
Oh, yeah.
I hate going to other gun shows.
Yeah.
And for me, that's a success criteria.
That's huge.
all
That's
we
huge
want.
right there.
What were you going to say, dude?
Because 90% of people are terrified of guns because they're terrified of guns.
Yep.
So you
Yeah.
have the first time gun owner, like some of my family, who thinks that guns are evil, which is fine. It's a machine. It has
we should
nothing.
talk about that later.
It
too.
has
Well, it's a
nothing
tool.
to do
Yeah,
with anything.
100%.
It's a machine. It can sit there. It can sit there. I can put it on the counter and let it
I
sit there
can beat
until
her to
I'm
death with my phone.
900 years old.
Weapon.
It's still a machine. It's
Yeah.
it's whomever is wielding
Actually, I
it.
don't know if I can beat her to death with my phone. I used to be a little shit, but now it's like 6'4". I'm
Yeah.
245 pounds.
But you
lot
can
bigger
use a
than-
pistol.
I got.
ago.
If you see me stretching,
you might be able to
Aaron,
take it.
No,
I
you're
don't know.
right.
Aaron's gonna give it that to me. But until then,
It
He's
just
like,
comes
I
down
don't
to
know
who
if he's
gets
fat.
winded first, I think.
Exactly.
and I'll give you
Who
the
runs
worst.
first?
I'll give you the most violent 30 seconds of your life
Right.
you've ever had.
Right?
Same.
Just take his little vape thing.
He's
Oh,
on,
and then I lose. Yeah,
he's
I'm
on
done.
his second beer. I don't know.
That's true. You got him now.
He just gets stronger.
Yeah, right. I don't feel it now.
He's like, no, I'm good. You can hit me harder.
Well, I was gonna say on the extreme side of where you felt like you were the criminal walking into the gun store.
Yeah.
We've had a few people that have been denied for whatever reason. We don't know. They
Yeah,
don't tell
just
us,
denies.
right?
We
But
help
not once does my brain go, "This
Oh.
guy's a criminal. What is he trying
Yeah.
to do?"
Right.
I feel bad.
Right.
I'm
You're
like,
like,
no,
"Bro,
hey,
I'm so
I
sorry."
know because this happened to him, and he'll tell you the story. But like, I know through firsthand experience, this guy he has an FFL, and he's been denied. So like, for whatever reason, I don't care, and I'm not going to
It
sit here and
triggered it
pry.
somehow.
Right, but
Who
it doesn't
knows?
bother
I
me, and
can
I
tell
go,
you what I
hey,
think triggered
here's.
for.
It doesn't tell me. Here's what you can do to go fix those steps.
Yeah.
And not once do I go,
You know,
this
This
guy's
guy
crazy. What was
murdered
he
8
trying to
people.
do? Right,
Yeah.
never.
No,
Not once.
we actually tell them how to go, who to
Fix it.
contact, how
Right.
to solve this. Where's the
Well,
bill
because
form?
you're assuming that people are good humans and that it's just a mistake on
Well,
whatever end.
having been
Well, until you
there-
give me a reason not to think
Having
that.
been there,
Absolutely.
October 2016, I go and buy guns. No problem. Get the background check. I get my guns, take them home. Then I order another gun. Get it, come in, deny it. I'm like, okay, dude. I provided my social. You typed in something wrong. Do it again.
Yeah, try
Right.
the number
Denied.
again.
What the hell? Right? So, long story short, I had to go give my fingerprints to the FBI, And they wouldn't tell me why. They, to this day, won't tell you why you get denied.
Wow.
They'll
So
just
somebody's-
lift the denial is all they'll do.
So somebody stole your stuff and did
No.
something.
Or
naughty.
what did he say on social media?
What did I say on social
that's
media?
true.
Who
What
knows?
October 2016, and then in November 2016, I bought. Right?
What was
Shit, am
happening
I on
around
that
that time?
So, who did I piss off?
Yeah,
Am
right.
I on that list?
Right? So,
So-
but
I haven't
that's
tried
why
to buy
we're
anything. Oh, no, I
empathetic
did,
to
I
it
did. I'm
because
good, I'm good.
Believe me, again, F-bomb warning. Actually, I've dropped a few F-bombs without the
I'm
warnings in
way
advance.
past you.
But
Yep.
We're good.
I was fucking livid for weeks because that is a right. That is a constitutional right.
And they
written in
took it away
and
from
it was
you.
so important that we listed it second, right behind. You could say whatever the hell you want
Right,
to say.
right,
Right.
Right.
And all of a sudden, you're telling me I can't have one, so I'm pissed.
And I didn't do
Which is
nothing
why
wrong.
and I knew I did nothing wrong. I've been in cups one time,
Mm-hmm.
and it was for a mistaken. Well, not a mistaken
I've
identity.
been in
Somebody
a
did
lot
use
more
my name. Right.
That's a whole
May or
other
may not-
podcast.
may or may not
We
have
could do
thrown
that.
punch
Oh,
the
we'd be
cock,
there from
so
a
the
cock.
line.
Right. But yeah, so that's why we're so empathetic around that to the whole customer experience.
Well, especially when it's happened to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the best position for empathy is when it has happened to you
Yeah.
before.
Right.
All right.
Absolutely.
I can try to empathize.
But I've never
right?
been there. I don't
I've
know.
never been there, but in this case,
I've
I've been
been
there.
there.
Been there.
And
You've
it's-
experienced it. Yeah.
It's embarrassing
and
and
infuriating.
it's infuriating
Yeah.
at
Yep.
the same time. You're like shamed and fuming.
Pissed.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
yeah.
last person it just recently happened to, like I said, my brain doesn't go, what did this guy do wrong
Yeah.
at all? I feel bad. I'm like,
You
oh,
think-
let's do
well,
this,
you
right?
think of your dad's story too.
Well,
You're
not just that. I just initially give you the benefit of the doubt. That's just how I've always
That
been.
people are
right?
good humans.
And then,
Good job.
so this guy is apologizing to me through text, like, "Hey, I'm sorry, I don't know what it is," and like, I swear this, that, and the other. I'm like, why? And I have to put myself in his shoes now. I'm like, why is this guy apologizing to me? And I'm like, okay, if this happened to me, how would I feel? Okay, yeah, I would
You'd
feel like
feel
this guy's
bad.
probably judging the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Right, right.
And then so when I looked at it that way, I was like, okay, I get it. And but I never thought that way.
Right.
You know.
Right.
It's
But
But
interesting.
we ended that with, "Don't worry, dude. It's happened to me."
Yeah.
And by the way, this particular guy has already got his rights restored. It's
And he
just
literally bought a
paperwork.
gun like a month
Yeah,
before,
and
just like
it's
him.
Literally
Same thing,
just
yeah.
paperwork error. So I gave him the email, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's you can't find on the FBI website, but having been a consumer of this particular product,
Right,
I knew
right.
the email address, and I'll give that to anybody.
You're
who
like,
wants-
hey, here you
who
go, bro.
knows.
Email this dude.
Yeah, if you apply and you get denied, and you're like, well, I kind of wondered about that, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, well,
Well, and then you're like, well,
but
you
if
probably shouldn't have done that.
You were like, wait a minute, what the hell's going on here?
Right.
Then that's when I'm like, hey, here's this
Here's
website,
the stuff.
here's this email address, here's what you need to do. Go get your fingerprints done now because they're going to ask you to send them in.
Right.
So we're empathetic. to
Oh,
that.
and the worst part of this is the guy is literally waiting months to get his U-pin, which is something that the ATF gives you. So it's a unique personal
Identification,
identifier,
yeah.
which your social should do that.
Right.
But, you
But
know,
and he's waiting for that while he's now being denied. So he's already done the fingerprints. He's already done everything
Oh,
else. So
crap.
that's why
He's
he's
just
really
waiting.
like, I swear, like it's
I've
good.
done it all.
Right.
Yeah.
And-
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, I didn't want to go down this rabbit hole, but we will since,
Hey, we're
since
down
we
the
started
hole.
talking about this. And who better to ask than you guys because you sell guns. So, you know, again, for the shooting that just happened, I feel horrible for the families that it happened to.
yes.
But, you know, all we keep hearing is we got to make it harder for people to get guns. Okay. It drives me nuts when I hear that
Yeah.
because I wouldn't say that it's hard now, but we're looking
hard.
at it from the wrong perspective.
It's not easy. It's not like I can just walk in and be like, hey, my name's John Smith. Can I have a gun? Yes. No, there's a whole bunch
Well,
of crap you got to do.
If you look at the last few, right, and I'm going to try to make this as unpolitical as possible,
Right.
right. But if you look at the last few, right, it then later on comes out that there was early warning signs.
Of course there was.
And they're-
Almost 100%
right.
by the way.
But
And
but
there-
again, do you as the sellers of the gun have any idea what I'm doing? Not a
No
clue.
idea.
No, that's up to
Not
the
a clue.
ATF.
If
Exactly.
you exhibit egregious
Or the FBI.
behaviors, I'm supposed to step in and go.
But
"This
if
ain't
I'm
happening, dude."
but if I'm on Facebook and I'm
I wouldn't
whatever,
know that.
you're gonna have
Right.
no
You
idea.
wouldn't know
But if
So-
you're in this store going, hurry up, I got some motherfuckers to go kill.
Oh yeah, I got
Yeah,
You're
conversation's
like,
over.
huh, sure, let me hurry that up for
Yeah,
you.
I need to make an emergency call.
Yeah.
This will speed it
If you come
along.
in smelling
Yeah.
like
Right.
alcohol or weed, I'm not going to
Probably
sell it to
not.
you.
Is that a gnat?
I hope that's the one that's been driving me crazy all day at work. There's been one.
But
So sorry.
Prepping, you eat everything.
You eat everything, right?
Everything is
So
protein. You're
here's
good.
the thing with that. It's look, when you were asking the question, I don't know if you noticed, I started looking around your room. There's at least 75 things in here that outside the fact
I
that
could
you,
kill
you
you
go
with.
to the gym and work out, there's 75 things in there.
And
I
he's
can
got
kill you
a
with.
Yeah.
and he's
Right.
got a body
I mean,
armor on.
Stab, yeah, and body armor.
And body armor, so it
Right.
makes it a little less difficult.
Yeah, and that high quality State 48 plates
Right?
Body-
Oh, good plug for Eddie right
that
there.
you can buy.
Hold
at-
on.
That
Where's
you
your
can buy at
pineapple?
Practical Tactical and
Yeah,
Prep,
buy
by
it
the
here.
way.
We're cooler than him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, our feet reach the ground.
From the last.
touche.
Love you, Eddie.
was
Love you.
great.
He's not going to see this till tomorrow, but touche.
Well, I
Eddie,
still
I'm
love
so
you, though, bro.
sorry.
But think about the opposite end of your question. What if guns were more accessible? What if the teachers were armed?
What if that gun,
100%
what if
think
that
they should be.
shooter went into
100%
a place
think they should be.
not having a guarantee of defense?
Who is
Have you heard of this term?
Right.
An armed society is a what?
polite society?
polite society?
That's, no, it's
Absolutely.
true. It's true.
100%.
I agree 100% with
So I
I
think,
think. Go ahead.
Again, Lindsay's opinion, which no is not always nice for humans. I think that everybody should be able to be armed. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care what you're doing. Your surgeon should be armed. Your nurse should be armed. Your teacher should be armed. Every single person should be able to be armed.
Yeah.
Their decision.
Their choice.
You don't have to
Don't
be.
force them to
You
be.
don't have to be. But I'm giving
allow
you
them
that
to be.
option.
How is a
So my-
driver's license that is a privilege is more accessible in every state? My driver's license works in every state
Yep.
than a
Right.
CCW that is a right.
In the
How does
listed
that
in the
work?
Constitution, twice in the bill, second in the Bill of Rights.
Yeah.
I think the bottom line though is forget the weapon. I've argued for years that like that Sandy Hook nut job could have gone down to Home Depot and bought a whole bunch of pipes with nails and various things and just
And a
toasted
nail
them.
gun.
And by the way, no, just pipe bombs that he could
Absolutely.
find. And he could have killed more people. In what he was doing because he had
But-
them locked in spaces.
Right,
He
yeah.
He actually could have
chose
killed more. So he chose a gun, which was a political. In
stance.
his mind, it may not have been.
No.
But look, at the end of the day, what's causing this? Snap your fingers, do
Mental
a Thanos snap, make every
health.
gun go away.
Mental health. It has nothing to do with the machinery that
Take
they
away
are
my
using.
gun.
It has to do with mental health.
Take away the gun from the nut job, and if they really still want to
They're
kill
still
people,
gonna go at you
they're
with a
gonna
knife,
find
they're
out.
gonna
I was
go
going
at
to say,
you
how
with
close is the
anything.
knife?
They're
Look at
gonna find a
England.
way.
Absolutely.
Do you think the crime
So-
went down in
so
England?
do you
No.
know? So, Dad, you should know this. A cop will shoot a person with a knife before they shoot a person with a gun. Because a knife will do more damage than a
To
gun
the,
will.
Yeah, to the person.
To
I mean,
the-
I can
to
see
the
that.
police
I've never
officer.
looked into it. I don't know how true that is, but that makes sense.
Because we've had police officers that have come in with knife gashes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You get one gunshot.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the chance that this criminal is going to be a good shot?
yeah.
Yep. Well, I've seen
So-
some people shoot.
I know,
So,
but
Shoot all over the
Heavy Metal
South
says,
Barn.
Heavy Metal says, I said it a few times. Ask Mexico or Chicago how well strict gun laws work.
absolutely.
Yep.
And then Christine says, what would you recommend for a 58-year-old woman who has never bought a gun before but has fired a sawed-off shotgun?
Oh my God, Christine.
So
Well,
I'm not a
Badass.
I'm
every time
not
I
a
talk to her.
caliber bigot, right? And so I may be different from a lot of people. You'll get a lot of people in the gun industry that are like, "Oh, you need that stopping power, man. You need that stopping power."
You need what's
Fuck
comfortable
that.
for you.
Yeah, I am fucking 53 years old. I don't want to get shot with a 22 long rifle.
Right.
Right?
Oh.
get shot
So
with a
you need
Those
Ball gun.
22s will do some
Yep.
damage,
but
bro.
you need to go with what's comfortable with you because
you.
having a gun
You're shooting
is
it.
better than having a gun. Having a gun that you can handle and manage and you feel comfortable with is better than having a gun
That you can't.
do not. So somebody goes out and pushes a 45 or even a too big 9mm.
I don't like my 45.
On what'd she say, 68-year-old woman?
58.
58-year-old woman. That if it's not comfortable to you, you're gonna lose it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go
It's gonna be in
go
the hands of your attacker.
go with
well, and not even
comfortability.
that. You're going to shoot and you're not going to hit them.
I'm not a product placer, but we have a beautiful Sig Sauer P322 and the Glock 44 in 22 long rifle
Yeah.
that are comfortable ass guns. They fit great in your
They
hand.
have no kick.
And they have
They're
literally next
super
to no
nice.
kicks.
Well, I'm going to get somewhat specific for that question real quick.
Yeah.
So, a lot of older ladies, and I've had this in our shop, right, where they're seamstress, right, and their hands
Yeah.
go bad. They get arthritis or
Yep.
carpal tunnel,
Right,
right?
right.
So,
Can't hold
so
on
to
to
that
stuff.
point, two things. One, three, I guess. Obviously, go with comfortability first, what you can shoot accurately and feels good in the hand. The second thing is revolvers are great for people who have weak hands.
Arthritis, yeah.
Because you just slip it into the
Yeah,
into the
there's
chamber.
no
It's
pressing.
easy.
There's
Right.
no.
And then the other thing
And then
is,
the racking.
unfortunately,
Yeah.
unfortunately, the Legion is a great option too, but it's very expensive. But I've actually had women where they've tried every gun because they were told, "Oh, the Hellcat's a great gun," and I'm not saying it's not,
Yeah.
but they can't even rack it.
Yeah.
But then with that Legion, because it's an upgraded gun, it's like a midway point to competition.
Yeah.
They're able to actually rack that slide.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
And so
very
it
easy.
really
You
comes
don't-
down to what can you actually
Really?
use?
What can you use?
Right.
Because
That-
again,
that thing
like
racks like butter.
It does.
like you
you can
said,
almost air rack that.
if
Yeah.
there's no, if you're not comfortable using it and you can't hit the person,
you can't
what's
use
the
it.
point? What's the point in having it?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We make recommendations to people when they say, "Look, what kind of gun should I get?" I always start with what feels good in your hand. Go around the table,
Feel it all.
feel what feels good. What feels good in your hand. Then we'll talk caliber. Right?
Yes,
if it ends up
Dad.
being 22,
What?
The lobotomies were bad, but they were great.
Just think about it. Reopening mental health facilities and mental institutions.
yep.
Well, I mean, more.
I was talking about that with my wife today.
It's not inhumane to lock people up.
But
Some
if we
people
look at
can't
this,
help that.
if we look at this last case,
I mean, we shouldn't do what we did to him. Like, we've treated him kind of shitty before. I'm sorry about that. Like,
Well, you can get castrated without a mental illness now.
Right.
So.
If you look
Because that was bad then, but I guess it's fine now. But anyways.
if you look at this last
digress.
case with her, her parents knew
Are we
she had
saying her?
mental
Was it a her?
whatever.
Not to
him,
her.
Whatever. Not to her. But the parents knew she had a mental health problem, right? How did she hide 7 guns in that house without my mom would know if a sock was out of place in my house. Yeah.
Your mother, 100%.
I mean,
She'd be like, "What happened?"
How does somebody have
It's
7
like
guns in the
go
house
back
and not
20
know?
something years.
Unless there's a gun store that's
Columbine,
open 2 a.m. That I don't know.
Well, even Columbine, right? They had
Columbine, yeah.
They were illegal. So you have 17-year-old kids that had those guns 25, 24 years, however long ago that was, right? And the parents had no idea they had the guns, and yet this is a 28-year-old person that did the shooting the other day, right?
Right.
They're an adult. They're on
At
their.
some point, you got to look and go, hey, maybe that's a hobby they're getting into. Because here's the thing: look, gun ownership is a healthy hobby for the healthy-minded person.
Yeah.
Right? And then all of a sudden you get to gun ownership can be a bad thing for somebody that's obviously
Yeah.
deranged. But
Not
going
healthy.
back to what's wrong with these people, anybody who would go into a room to kill strangers that are not attacking them has a mental issue.
Right.
Let's
Absolutely.
work on the mental issue. Stop with the guns. Stop with the because if we gave you guns, but the scenario, let's talk about unicorns
They're
right
still
now.
gonna come up
If
with
we
something
gave
else.
You guns,
It does not
the
matter.
next murder would be something else. Then you'll want that.
Yep.
Right.
Then
Absolutely.
you'll want the next thing. Then you'll want the next thing.
It's never going to stop. Humans are awful, awful things, and we will always try to hurt others,
Yeah.
no matter what.
Well, history proves that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly,
No matter in
100%.
any way, whether it's with arrows, whether it's with rocks, whether it's however,
Yeah,
we
read
will
some of
always
the-
come up with a way
Read some of the
to
tortures
hurt
that have
somebody.
taken place in history, let alone
Absolutely.
Before guns were invented.
Had nothing to
before
do
guns
with
were invented, but even without the use of guns, some
Yeah.
of the torture that happened to the some of the Vietnamese prisoners, for
Yep.
example,
Yep.
right? But you can go back to some of the. I watch a lot of history YouTube or documentaries, things like that, and just some of the horrible things people have done
Yeah.
to others just out of entertainment,
absolutely.
right?
Yep.
Absolutely.
So, didn't take no gun to do it.
Now imagine being stretched.
Oh,
No, you want to know my worst one? The fingernail when they
The nails.
when
Put the bamboo
when
underneath.
they
Or they
pull your
tap the
fin-
nail.
Oh, God.
They get a nail and tap it through
Oh
your
my
nail.
God. Bro, just shoot me.
I'm
Just
good.
shoot me.
For real.
I'm good.
Yep.
We're good.
So,
Okay, number 3.
Number 3.
Because we are no way. It is 8 o'clock.
oh, it is.
By the
that.
way.
All right. Number 3.
Only a few
You have hours.
and
minutes?
only a few short days to get. We didn't even talk about number 2, but that's
No,
totally fine.
number 3 should be.
Yeah, he did. He
Number
did.
3,
We
2
did
should
really
be
did.
the first aid.
First
Yeah.
aid. We
Number
didn't really
3
talk
is
about
food
that.
and water, right? So out here, depending on your temperature, but again, food and water is not your immediate risk.
Right.
No.
You even at our 120 degree temperatures, you've got
A day or
depending on
two.
what you're doing. I mean, even if you're walking in the desert, you're going to make 6 to 8 hours.
Yeah.
Right.
Walk at night.
Walk
Yeah,
at night.
yep, yep.
Food, you can go 30 days without eating.
Right.
Again, depending on the circumstances. If you're too cold, your body's gonna
Or
Yep.
hauling
Or
it
you
off
are.
if you
Or
consume
pulling. Or,
faster.
yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
right? But so what we're saying is
You
look,
have a little bit
what
more
you need-
time.
This one though is about food for energy or food and water for basic hydration, stay
Yeah.
alive. That's non-negotiable,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
You have the 3 days or less, right? But the food is for the energy. When Aaron says walk at night, you got to have some energy to walk at night,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So one of the things that we'll do later is we brought some MREs, we brought some of the emergency
Yeah,
food
I'll just
sources,
grab them now.
right?
That's cool.
Cool. Yeah. Grab.
But yeah, so like one of the food blocks that we sell at the store has like 3,600 calories, and it's yay big, right? And it actually doesn't
I don't know.
taste
What's
bad.
his bed contain? Because like we're gonna have to compare.
Well, if you do the purple with one of these things. Yep. So these are civilian-based MREs, which means they're actually a little bit better than at least the branch of military I was in got. One of the things we bring too is water, right? This is just a water packet, just enough for you. One of the other things to factor in with water is not only the hydration, but I cannot dry swallow a pill. And if I
Okay,
had
yeah,
to, let's
yeah.
say I've got blood pressure, I've got whatever, I've
Whatever.
got to take my medication.
Yeah.
And as we were talking yesterday, your more likely emergency that you're going to face right now is not the zombie apocalypse.
Right.
As much as that makes us all sad.
I know. I kind of wanted it.
But you're most likely is like, you guys, hey, we're off Sunday. Let's go take a drive up in the mountains. And you get that early spring snowstorm. And all of a sudden you're stuck on the side of the road. You can't move. And it just happens to be that road that nobody's coming down.
Yep.
Nobody's gonna go down there
And
because
you've
you
got to make
thought it
at
was a
least
great
the
place.
next day. And you might have a medical condition. You got to take water. You got to take
Pills.
You can't drink snow.
Right,
Right. That's
right.
a little unknown.
Yeah, that'll
That
freeze
snow
you.
is not drinkable.
What?
It actually dehydrates you.
Yeah.
From
it
the
does.
Arizona person.
Well, your
You
body
can't-
has to work overtime
You can't.
in order
I
to
can't
get it to
eat
body
snow
temperature.
You can
and
eat
like.
snow, but it dehydrates you.
Right.
It doesn't
Yeah.
hydrate you.
What?
Your body's working
need
overtime
to-
to warm it to your body temperature after you've
So you
swallowed
need
it.
to melt it before you
Right.
can drink it. So if you can't melt it, your body is the best place to melt it, by the way.
Oh, I
Put it
didn't
here.
know that.
Put it here and wrap it.
Stick with us. We got
Yeah,
you.
stick with it. We got you.
I have
But
no
if you can't
plans of
melt
ever
it-
being around snow,
if
so
you
we're
can't melt it,
good.
we sell Datrix water.
Right.
There you go. Yeah.
But we include these like in these survival kits. We recommend that you always have something to at least a little hydration.
Right.
Ward
See,
off
and
what's
you
coming,
laugh at me why I
but
have
also
water
take
bottles
the
shoved
pills
in the
that you
back of
need.
my car.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Well, be careful with that
watch
too,
water and
because plastic
though.
sweats.
Yeah.
Well,
I
and
know, but it's
plastic
not gonna
actually.
kill me.
If my wife were here right now, she'd tell you all about the poisons of leaving
Right.
plastic in the
Oh,
heat.
plastic's terrible,
That
but it's
plastic
not
will
going to
be
kill
doing
me.
something to your water.
It's not going to
Well,
kill
what
me.
does not kill you makes you
slowly.
stronger. Yes,
Exactly.
over time, it would.
Yeah.
These are so if you were to open one of these, it's a series of these. These are actually tasty.
They're so good.
You know,
They're
they-
like graham crackers.
Yeah, they taste. They're crushed up graham crackers, compacted. The key thing with this though,
So there's just a ton of those in there.
Yeah.
you can actually feel them.
Oh yeah, you can see them.
Yeah,
They're all
this particular
suctioned.
one is 3,600 calories. So I look at 3,600 calories and I go, okay, I can eat very well today and waste all my food in one day.
3,600
That's a lot of
calories.
damn food.
That's a lot.
Holy
Yeah.
crap balls!
I mean, literally, all four of
That's
us.
3 days of food.
Yeah, for one person, exactly. Or all four of us could go one day
On
you know,
that.
900 calories and have enough calories to keep moving.
To still be okay. Yeah.
Exactly.
To still be
So
doing
that's
whatever
what-
you're doing.
And look at the size of this thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Nothing.
I've got big hands. But
I could have a
it's
shit ton of those.
And when we pass it over to you, it's not that heavy either. I mean, it's solid. Don't get me wrong. If I drop it here,
Yeah.
it's solid. But it's worth the pack space. It's worth
Yeah.
the car space. It's wherever you're storing stuff.
Well, and it's little. It's
definitely
not
worth
huge.
it. And now I've gone through Marine Corps MREs, which are always a challenge because, or not a challenge, but a series of Christmas surprises
like
in the middle of a
soccer.
field exercise. Let's put it that way. Because some of your MREs in the Marine Corps, hey, you could open it up and get a ham slice. Ham slice with a little bottle of Tabasco, man, you were like the king of the Marines right
Right.
at that point. And then if at some point, they accidentally left in the hot chocolate pack, which I swear to God, the Marine Corps goes through and removes the good shit out of MREs before they give it to Marines.
They're like,
Every
"Nah,
now and then,
they don't
every now-
deserve that.
Every now and then, you get the hot chocolate and you throw a little bit of water, not enough to make hot chocolate, but enough to make pudding. And you had it was like a cocaine based high for the next 2 hours.
You were like, sugar.
Whoa! Right? And then, there's just a variety of things that are in MREs. These are civilians, so they're going to be a little better.
Chicken burrito bowl is the options you can get today.
This one has a dessert. So we'll pass these down and let you guys try these out.
I know you're excited.
I'm a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie.
Is it bad if we go too far over because we haven't reached everything? We're at 8 now.
No, we're good. If we go over, we're good.
Okay.
So the times we've gone over.
Entree, dessert.
Oh, it has
snack,
like
accessory
tea in
pack.
it. Oh.
Flameless heater. I like that. I like
Yeah.
that.
Chicken
Yeah, see,
burrito.
in the Marine Corps, none of ours were ever allowed to have the heater. I guess Marines, they get worried about us eating crayons. so they-
Shortbread pecan cookies is your dessert.
There you go.
Yep.
There you go. Ryan says beef stew, the best MRE.
Yep. Ryan was Air Force. So he knows his MREs. He's been in the trench.
I'm so sorry. Thank you, but
But I
I'm
have
sorry.
another brother-in-law. I don't know if he's joined the call, but he was in the Navy.
And marble pound cake. Why do you get 2 desserts?
So you got family with
yeah.
military. That's awesome.
Yeah, actually, that brother-in-law has a brother-in-law who was in the Army. So we have the whole representation of all 4 corps. I don't want to leave out the Coast Guard, but I don't know anybody who would join the Coast Guard. So,
I was going to.
are you?
Yep, I was going
All
to.
power to you.
when I
I
was
was
younger.
And then he had-
vomiting over the side of the boat the whole time.
Me too. Bleh.
Hard to admit I'm a Marine, but I was a land-based Marine.
You're like, no water, no water, no water.
So Christine says, I used to like some of the MREs the Army used to give you back in the 80s.
Oh.
Actually,
come a
like
long
I said,
way.
if you get the ham slice and for some reason they give you the MRE and they had bread, all of a sudden you had the best ham sandwich you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
And then every MRE when I was in the Marine Corps always came with, and I always recommend that people can find them, find the little bottles of Tabasco sauce. Now you learned it, Tabasco sauce is hot for some people.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
But Tabasco sauce completes every meal when it's an MRE.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I wouldn't go put it on your pancakes or your spaghetti, but if it's a damn
it's
MRE,
good in spaghetti.
Oh, if you put it on an MRE that you get the spaghetti MRE, all of a sudden that's a good MRE.
That's a good MRE.
Yep.
I don't know, spaghetti with hot sauce is already good.
So that's a great point Michelle brings up. So she has a food supply, small amount in my cart at all times. It doesn't cost too much to have a little bit. Price of 2 coffees, and that's
That's true. That's what,
relatively
20
inexpensive.
bucks?
Absolutely.
Not
And
even.
that's my wife's. And,
think-
and that's how she will add to preps is, she will shop and she knows she's shopping for what she needs and she knows she's going to put a little extra aside. And that's how we kind of rotate through things.
That's cool.
And we need to get better about rotating our old stuff.
Yeah, we don't
going up and
rotate
grabbing
very
that and
much.
using because I can get lazy sometimes. So if I got a can of corn in my hand, she just got at the store.
Instead of
I know
digging the
there's a
one
can
out.
Upstairs,
You're using that one, right?
And
Yeah, that's our
We
life.
do- we do the same
I'm like,
thing.
do I really want to dig through the pantry to get this? But there's this one right here.
yeah.
So we trying that or what? You gonna try it? You like the burrito bowl? That's right up your alley.
I know.
Yeah, if anything, too, try these. These are actually
This little thing?
surprisingly good.
It will make a mess, so be careful.
Yeah. Do you remember those little Mexican candy-
All those rosas or rosy. Or whatever. Yeah,
So
those are
good.
so
the
good.
peanut butter things. Oh
yeah.
my God.
They don't taste like that, but they flake like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. Thank you.
And it is very dry. I would take a small bite or have,
Yep.
have
Or-
your drink ready.
Some emergency water from Daycare.
No, really?
So does that
Sold
water
to you by PTP.
does that water have electrolytes in it or?
I don't
it
think.
added?
I think it's not dehydrated.
It's dehydrated water.
Yeah, add water. Just add water.
Okay, Joe Biden.
Yeah.
What is the word I'm looking for?
Purified.
Not purified.
Distilled?
Distilled.
Concentrated.
Thank you. Distilled. Yeah. And so actually, when we first got this box, one was open, so I tried it. It's delicious.
The water?
Yeah,
it's
it's so good.
Really?
So good. Yeah.
Huh.
I try to get my granddaughters to drink it every time they come in, but they're
Oh, it's
they're
really good.
hesitant.
Isn't it?
It's like
it's
graham
surprisingly good. Yeah, it's a graham cracker. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's really good.
Yeah. Who
Not
knows?
that I need to eat this whole thing for 200 calories.
Lindsay found I need a snack.
Yeah. Who knew
No.
surviving could taste so good?
Right.
Well, that's the thing with that. You're gonna
That's
be
really
hungry, but you've got the calories. I mean, and,
That's not bad.
no, it's actually pretty good.
Shoot,
Like,
I've
it's
eaten
pretty
them
good.
at our store when I didn't bring food.
See, nobody
Very
dies
good.
in our
Yeah.
flipper store. You will
God,
not
I
die of
hope
starvation in our
not.
place.
No, that's really good.
It is dry. I can see what
What's
you're saying.
all
It's dry,
in
but
it?
it's actually good.
Oh,
Good
I-
They're
great
dry, but
flavor.
very good.
Why would I ask you that question when I have the box over here? I'm so sorry.
So one thing I want to point
What
out
is in it?
that I really enjoyed about your store, not only is everything very easy to find, like you have everything.
Oh, it
grouped
actually
where it's
doesn't have-
nice. I like the fact that we were talking about your med kits. You have that whole cabinet set up where people can kind of
Build it yourself. Bug out
and
equipment.
piece.
He told me
and I
that.
think
That's really not what I need in my
awesome,
life.
right? No, it's,
He's like,
it's,
they got a
it's a
bunch
really
of cool
nice
stuff
setup.
and you can make your own. And I was like, really?
Yeah, we actually thought about if we could find the space, we were going to have a room where you literally came into a room and you built your own bag. So based on space and the fact that I still need to work a real job or another job for a while, and then storage for stuff, we didn't have the space that had that dedicated room, but we did it by doing that. So you go over there and you start looking through the drawers and you just, hey, I need a better compass than what I have. I need a North American Rescue tourniquet.
Upgrade,
I need a
whatever,
tourniquet
yeah.
pouch. Right, I've got the NAR compresses or the Israeli bandages. We've got those in there, right? So there's just a number of things that you would go through. It's not all medical, but there's other things throughout there, right?
And other
that
things you're
may-
going to need. This is for you. Like, if this is your only pack you have,
Yep.
what are you going to have in it?
Yep, absolutely.
So Boswick says, how long can you keep water in plastic before it becomes unsafe to drink? I mean, does it depend on like the conditions it's stored in?
Yeah, so I
or-
explain the same thing even with like food. It depends on the extreme in the temperature that you're storing it. So if it goes from extreme cold to extreme hot often,
bad.
it's not good.
Not good,
If you
right.
leave it in the garage, not good, especially in Arizona.
Yeah.
If it's room temperature, it should last a
You're good, yeah.
very long
Right.
time.
Right.
There's a flameless heater in it?
That's what we were talking about. weren't you listening?
It's a chemical
No.
chemical
I'm
interaction.
so sorry.
Hey, welcome to the podcast.
We're live.
You actually want me to pay attention? I'm so sorry.
Everyone else
I
says,
was-
eat one of those with a piece of purple mattress as filler and you're good.
Yeah, you can extend the food
So the
way
purple
further.
makes you not full, and that gives you calories.
Right?
He's like, we're good. He's all, here, kids. Put
That's-
this on your
Yep.
NRA.
It's
And he-
fiber and calories.
Put a
together,
little
right?
put a little water in the
I just
powder.
I don't
I don't know.
recommend hauling around a really heavy mattress.
Purple
to-
mattress?
Yeah.
Which one should we try, guys?
Try them both.
Which one do you recommend?
I mean, they're high in calories. Which one?
So it's chicken
I would
burrito bowl
actually-
or
I would
hash
actually
brown
just sample
potatoes.
from both.
I was gonna
bacon-
say, just spoil yourself with the dessert. Why not?
Once you open it, can you reseal it or is it pretty
that
much
one-
Actually, has their
might-
hand. I think
Done.
it's top level resealable at
Yeah.
the top. I think.
Yeah.
The
This
bottom
one
one
is.
is now each thing inside is individually wrapped, anyways.
right?
Yeah.
So as long as you don't open them, those are still safe.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to open all of them because then it wastes
This
them.
one has
so.
2 desserts.
Yeah, try the desserts. why
So
not?
she wants to open that one.
And then I was going to share with you
How
too
am I
while she's
supposed to get
opening
this
that.
open?
So these boxes right here,
Who has a knife?
I got one.
Do you have a knife in front of you?
Or preppers.
I got 3 knives.
I know. I'm like, you guys are like, can you open that for me?
So
Thank you.
what I just handed you is something that every single one of our family members
awesome.
keeps in our cars. We put it underneath our seats. So it's like a little mini
Oh, it's cool.
survival if you get stuck on the road or whatever situation.
This is the
you're
one
in.
where
Yeah.
things that and you just cut the.
Yeah, obviously you don't want to put that one in like your center console or something like that, so it's accessible. We just added it to
That'll
Right.
let you
to
see
the
about
bag
break the
itself.
window for you.
That's cool.
That's very
Do you know
cool.
what else will break a window?
What's that?
A spark plug.
Spark plug. Yep. I
Yep.
knew you were gonna say it
Spark
too.
plug.
I'm a car girl. I'm sorry.
What, they give you a spoon.
And you have a little triangular
Yeah.
bandage.
And the stuff you're
some-
pulling out, we put those kits
Some
together ourselves.
batteries.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Those
they
are
don't-
designed by us to see
And
like
some
the
matches.
fundamental things you need for a temporary emergency. Less 24 hours or
You're
less.
stuck on the side of
doesn't
the
include
road.
food.
Right.
Yep.
Grape you always grace got sugar in it. So
Yep.
Yep.
if you're
And that's why we
diabetic,
put that. Yep.
yep.
And then you have a
Salt, pepper.
What
I
is
like
this?
that. And tea.
That is
That's an Israeli bandage.
Israeli
so
bandage.
It's
Yeah.
a thick compress. Oh, you're a
Oh,
nurse. You know what it is.
That's cool.
So yeah, it's designed for the excess bleeding for those that are not nurses, right?
Yep.
So that the thick flow of blood. Plus, it has the extra straps where you get it stopped
tighten
and
it.
then you wrap it around and tighten
Yeah.
it.
Right.
It's a self-sustaining treatment, basically.
And then is this the fire
That's a emergency
Blanket.
solar blanket.
solar blanket?
Yep.
Okay, to keep
So
you warm.
Once you get in that, it traps your own body heat,
Right.
reflects it back on you. And that is
A
a
bandana?
mask, a mask,
okay.
It could be a
bandage,
filter. It could
a
be
filter.
a mask. It could, yeah.
But there's so many practical uses to just a simple 50 cent to $1 bandana that we
I didn't
included
think
in the
about any of
package.
that.
Yeah, I mean, put it over your thing and you need.
If you're in
just
the
get to
smoke or you're near a
dusty
fire
one.
or
No,
whatever.
I've got cotton in a haboob.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Heck yeah. Yeah.
All of a sudden, you get out.
You can't
of your
breathe.
car,
Guess
you
what?
can't breathe.
You're done.
Yeah.
Yep.
A flashlight
And extra batteries.
and extra batteries. I already got those. Those are back there.
Now, so that glow in the dark thing in your hand, if you pull it out, so 2 things in your hand right there. The one is for extra medicine, right?
Oh, okay,
There are
pills
medicines
or
you have
whatever,
to
if
take
there's-
1 day.
Okay,
of
and
any
throw it in there.
medications. Yep. Throw it in your pack. And then that right there is like, look, in the event you do want to be found,
Oh, it's the slap
is.
wristbands.
Put it around
Okay,
your
do
back.
you remember that from the 80s, everybody? The 90s babies? I know you remember those. And then a pen.
a pen, a pen with
And
a
window breaker.
And
yeah.
yep, I don't want to. It's in there.
and it comes with an extra ink pad.
So-
Basic first aid,
A tiny little
tweezers,
baby. Yeah.
Q-tips,
Yeah.
Band-aids. Then we add more to it.
Glow stick.
That is a glow stick. So you
That's
snap
very
that.
cool. Yep. Yep.
Those are crazy.
Also edible.
Right.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yes. When you
I almost believed you for like 4 seconds.
when
I
you
was
want
like,
to end
no,
it all,
it's
when you
not.
want to end it all, that's
Right, yeah.
edible.
Well, when you need to pull something out of
To
someplace.
test that, to see if I wanted to put it in here, to see if it was effective for the use of space, which is tiny,
Yeah.
I snapped it and threw it in my pool at night. My damn pool lit up all night.
That's
That's
So
crazy.
what
cool.
that is I buy them. They're for fishing. right?
Okay.
You
Yeah.
tie them to the fishing line, you snap it, you throw it in.
And then you
and
can
when you're
see
night fishing,
everything
the fish are
around
all,
you.
oh, I love that line. I want to go see
Yeah,
what's over there.
that's cool.
So I'm like, if it works for that, again, all we're looking for is temporary light or signaling for help.
Somebody.
Right?
And if
Put it on
it's
top of the car, leave it there.
Yep.
The chance
somebody
will
flies
see it.
over and they're like, wait, what is that?
Absolutely.
Arthur, you're awesome. He said he put together a survival kit for my son for Christmas and threw in a zombie survival guide to make it fun.
Oh my God, for your son, he would
Nice.
freaking love it.
That's awesome. That's funny.
And some medical tape
Yep.
and a tourniquet
Up.
and a lighter.
Yep. And there's matches in there as well.
Yeah, I got those already. And
Darian, you know Darian?
Darian's my daughter, my best.
Okay.
Oh, little baby knife.
Maderas.
Oh, it's cute.
Survival kits are awesome. We have one in each of our cars. So,
I actually kind of like it. So that has a knife and then it has a whole thing of like another.
Yep. That
Like
I didn't
med
feel like
kit.
the little kit I pre-bought was enough.
No,
So we
this
added
has
more. We added
extra
some
Band-Aids
Benadryl,
and
some-
Benadryl
yep.
and
That's cool.
Tylenol.
Some stomach.
Oh
you
my
know,
God, look it. You'll love that. A compass.
Whistle on top of the compass.
For the hookers.
I mean, that's not.
Yeah, so whistle for signaling. You need help.
It's not a rape whistle,
maybe-
it's a hooker
Is
whistle.
this what you do? You whistle for your hookers?
That's right.
That's
As
my
I
wife.
get older, I can't whistle anymore, so I need to whistle.
So
need
you
a
need
whistle.
your whistle to for your hookers.
That's freaking
You know,
awesome.
in the event that you can't signal them with
This
the
is
band you had, the
awesome.
lights you had, the flashlights we
Right.
provided, hey, make sound.
Yeah.
Make a noise.
Right? Again, on the premise
Don't
that you're
put
looking for
this
assistance.
in there.
Right.
No.
Yeah, I told you it's messy.
I know it's on the computer. Make it
It's really not bad. It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
I'm going to let her open this because I will make a mess if I open it.
Yeah,
so.
sure.
I have
While
to
they're
put
doing
this
that, do you want to go to the next one?
all
Yeah,
back
let's
together.
talk about number 4.
Yeah, so the number
This is
4.
not gonna be in here,
Number 4 is
right.
where most people spend their time prepping, unfortunately. Right? They start worrying about how to make fires and how to make, this or that, or their tent and their sleeping bags. And again, in a worst case scenario, in civil strife,
It's not-
in nuclear fallout,
Right.
all of which are the least likely things that happen. Not impossible, but not the most likely thing to happen to us. They're spending a lot of their prep time on things that we categorize as number 4.
Right.
We'll support you if that's what you want to do, because this is just our recommended list.
Right.
But
Okay, I can't get
I
that
will
back in
say,
Yeah, it's pretty hard.
do you really
That's
need a
not
sleeping
gonna-
bag as part of your preps? Right? I mean,
No, but I do have to pee. I'm so sorry.
all right.
I've been holding mine for a while, but I'm good.
No, I really have to pee. I was gonna try to make it. It's not.
I've just been letting it go right here.
So,
Blame it on the dogs.
so while we're on that kit, how much does a kit like that go for?
We have it on sale right now for $44.95.
That's not bad at all.
Not at all.
Not bad at all.
I don't know. It actually comes with all the things in there. The glass breaker, emergency kit. I mean, it's basically when we put it together, it was like outside of food and water. And I've tried these, by the way. When you leave them in your car, they will explode.
Oh, really?
Right? But they will pressurize in the Arizona sun. Even inside of that case,
And they'll
my
pop.
test processes that came in and the whole thing was wet. And this was empty. I used the scientific processes to quickly deduce what happened there.
And that, yeah. You found out.
So, water and food is something that you probably need to carry on you in your bag. Right?
Yeah.
Keep it moving, keep it flowing, but keep it cool. You're usually cool, so wherever your bag is, it's gonna be cool.
It's gonna be cool, right.
But we designed it so that it's like, what may you need that also aligns with what we're talking about there, other than giving you a gun. We give you a little form of defense. We give you a little form of first aid, right? And other than the food and water, right? So I think it's handy to have just as I don't know what's going to happen to me. I don't know what my potential disaster scenario is, but this is enough to at least be flexible around what it may be.
Right.
Right? I can't solve every prep problem.
Right. No. No.
It's impossible. And none of us can ever prep for what actually will ever happen to us.
Right.
Right? But when you at least have a standard set of tools to start with, then you at least are better prepared for something else.
And
Honestly,
you
you're-
can build on that too.
Yeah,
So,
I was going to say your best tool is your mindset, really.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times have you heard where like a plane goes down and people who have no clue what they're doing, they make it happen.
right.
Yeah.
It's just a mindset.
Well,
just,
actually, to Aaron's point, investing in something is the mindset. You've already taken your mindset down the path of, I'm going to now, I know I need to at least be a little bit better prepared than I have been.
Right.
Right.
So you made that decision because your mindset started going there. So,
And I think the key too is not to get lazy about it either. Because I'll give you a great example. I studied to be an EMT, and passed my test, and I thought it was all the shit. So I carried a lot of stuff with me in the car because my mindset was, what if I roll up on an accident? What if something happens? So I carried.
Rittenhouse's dad.
You
right
know.
here.
no, yeah.
So but then you get lazy. As I got out of it and I got into the industry now I
Well, pretty
don't
good.
carry those things in my car
Right.
anymore. So it's a matter of just keeping with that mindset.
Right.
Dogs in the studio. That is a shortbread
You're eating,
pecan.
you're eating dessert before you're eating the meal.
Welcome to my life. Not bad, right? They're literally just like pecan cookies.
That's good.
And they are the civilian model, like a lot of the military ones. I can't speak to other branches, but you didn't get the dessert in the Marine Corps one.
You get 2 desserts.
Yeah. You know.
Okay. Shortbread cookies, not bad.
So CBG Summon's got a question. What is an obscure included item that you think has many uses? That's a great question.
Obscure.
Obscure included
Like random?
item. I would say the knife is probably the most overlooked tool that anybody has.
Well, that's true.
Can do many things.
Yeah.
I literally, with this knife right here, it's a Cold Steel Secret Edge.
Ouch.
Designed to be a neck knife. I could modify it and carry it somewhere else. I choose to, carry it here.
Look,
he'll
you
give,
got
you,
your
he'll give you a
answer?
different answer, but here's the thing. So I'm not wrong, Aaron's not wrong, because everybody's answer is something.
It's all
unique.
for you.
But
Right.
I have scraped the floor with this. I've scraped paint with this. I've dug the entire contents out of the strip in the cement and prepping our
it
store.
smells really
I
good.
use this as a screwdriver, flathead or Phillips. Oh, and by the way, it's also a knife, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I can get so many things done out of a good, simple knife.
I'm
that
gonna
gives me
live
those.
great on MRs.
But that's,
This
that's,
is
that's
great.
that's my thing. Now, if you wanted to buy something, I have a tool in the store that is the Off-Grid Tools survival axe. It's got a
saw that.
saw that pops out the whole thing. we showed
I'm
up
really
to put
surprised you
together.
didn't come home with that.
Yeah, well, you never know. Maybe it's your Christmas.
We're open
Maybe
tomorrow.
it's already in
We're-
the,
we are
maybe
open
it's already
11/7,
in the house and I don't
Tuesday,
even know about it.
Yep. We actually showed up to my son's house to put together my granddaughter's trampoline for Christmas, right?
Other-
we get there.
other
and
son.
No other son. And we get there and nobody brought a single damn tool.
Right.
So I had my damn survival axe in my backpack. I whip it out. We put together the entire trampoline using the survival axe. Right? Just by using pry for pulling and all that stuff.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
I mean, it just really comes down to.
I mean, it comes down, it probably was different than what you
Yeah.
would have chosen.
Yeah.
I have one that's not so obscure, but definitely overlooked.
Okay.
So you notice that in there was matches. Uh-huh. Right.
Yep. Yep.
But there was also a lighter.
Yes.
Why does everybody go, I need to flint it. I need magnesium. I need this. I need this.
No,
I
you
need a
can light it
lighter.
over-
Or I need matches. Get a lighter.
Get a lighter. They're
Make
cheap.
sure it's waterproof, which that whole container is waterproof.
Right.
Yeah.
The easiest way to start a fire is with fire, people. Like,
Okay. We
it's
never said
definitely
humans were
overlooked.
smart.
Right,
okay.
that's true. But even like in survival shows, it blows
Everybody
my
has
mind. It's like,
matches and
I
you're
get
like-
you're trying to show off your skills and you're rubbing
And they
sticks
have, like,
together, but
the-
we have lighters. It's the easiest
Well,
thing
and
in
then
the
like,
world.
what's the metal thing with the
flint?
like?
Right,
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
but you don't
don't
have
need
a
it.
lighter.
right. It's way overlooked. It just doesn't make
Okay,
sense
but I
to
have a
me.
question, Squirrel. So the lighter.
Mm-hmm.
We live in Arizona. I put it in my car in the thing. A year and a half later, when I need it, is that lighter still going to have fluid in it?
I don't see why it wouldn't. It's contained.
It wouldn't evaporate.
No, not. So you have it it's airlocked, so
If
it's
it's in the
waterproof
thing,
as
yeah.
well. Yeah, there's no, like
But
I
that
said,
heat is
if
still going
you're-
to happen.
Even so, it's really like the only thing that really majorly affects things like that is extreme weather changes.
Right.
If you're going, if you put it in the freezer and then in your car,
And then in the car, yeah.
that'd be an
oh,
issue.
That'd be
okay.
an
But
issue,
if it
right.
gradually heats
Yeah,
up during
that
the
should be
day and
fine.
then goes, oh, okay.
yeah, and it's pressurized. Not only is it stuck within the lighter where it doesn't spill, on top of that, it's pressurized within the container.
Yeah.
Right, so-
Oh, okay.
Shouldn't be an issue.
Right.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I just didn't know. That's why it was like I didn't know if it would, because we live in Arizona.
Yeah.
I'm going to shove it in the back of the car
Yeah.
and not think about it.
Yeah, you don't want to
like-
leave it on your dashboard. I mean, that's where we make cookies in Arizona. So you don't want it to
and fry
explode
eggs.
and
Right.
It's
taint your
totally
cookies.
fine.
Yeah.
So Christine makes a great point. Knives make great can openers, which they do.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's another multi-use tool there.
Oh, it smells really good. What?
Morgan says mine's come in handy countless times. Highly suggest a knife.
Yeah, and then
I've
on the
said
other
some
thing
I've
of
read
knives
back.
too is like what we say is it's always good to have a knife that you don't mind destroying, the one that you use for everything, right?
Right.
And one that's going to last you a lifetime.
Last a lifetime. Well, it's like this. This is my survival knife. I carry it in my truck all
Right.
the time. It sits. I'm not gonna tell you where it sits, but
In the truck.
it's in my truck.
In
Right.
Seymour's
and,
truck.
and it's always with me.
Yeah.
Always have it with me.
Yep.
Oh, and the trampoline's still standing. Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
pretty good.
Leatherman's a good too. That's a good multi-use tool.
That's not terrible.
See?
It's like real food. I always thought MREs
Yeah, it's
And
come a
again,
long way.
Not being a military person because they didn't.
Right.
I chose not to do that because they were going to send me in snow. But I always thought they were like the dehydrated, like this kind of stuff,
Right.
right? Like, am I crazy or was that just me being crazy?
There were, the older sea rats were nasty components before they modernized the MREs, and then these have just gotten better
Right?
and
That's
better,
not
right?
bad.
Yeah.
That's like
it tastes
real
like chili. It
Yeah.
tastes like chili.
Yeah.
No, modern MREs, especially on the civilian market MREs, are actually pretty dang tasty.
So how long do these last? How long?
It's like again. There's the date on the box.
Preference.
And
How
then
long
there's
is the date on the box? Because I didn't
I think
read
it's
that.
7 years on an MRE.
Okay, so it already gives you a good
Yeah,
time.
good lifeline. Yeah, I'd have to double check that, but I believe it's 7 years.
Hold on, it might say it.
It might even be each individual one is different.
I don't know.
Usually on the outside of the case, there's a lot number. We sell them individually, but they also come in the cases that'll give us a lot number on them.
So there's a hell of a lot of calories in one MRE pack.
So just these cookies have 150 calories per serving, and there's 2 servings. So you have 300 calories in just this.
Right.
So essentially, shit hits the fan. I can live on this for one day.
Yeah.
Not do anything, but I can live on this for
Calorie-wise,
one day, calorie
Right,
wise.
right.
This one has
Do you sell a P38 or P51 military can opener?
this.
I actually have them. We don't put them out on the thing, but we have them back in our survival kits. We have a whole.
Do you want one, Christine? We'll bring it to you.
That we literally use to say, okay, what's going to go in this particular. So I've got a bunch of that. I think it's P38s that I've just purchased. They're sitting in one of our little tackle boxes for
Oh, cool.
adding into supply or mercy kits.
This is crazy. I am so
The other thing,
impressed
though-
right now.
Close to guard secret on most cans is give them a good solid 30-second rub on hard cement, and you will actually be able to just peel the top of the can off.
No way.
Because it separates the sides of it. Yeah, because
Really?
the can
Yeah,
is just like smuckered on the top.
can, it's actually just compressed.
full.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All you're doing with the can opener is
So if
ripping
you
that.
smucker
So if you
it,
actually just literally rub it on cement, and it may be more than 30 seconds.
but it'll break that
You
seal.
can actually get it to where that you can just pop out the
I'm gonna try
pop
that.
out the lid.
I never knew that.
You could be strong and
You
just
didn't know
squeeze
that?
it like Popeye.
Just pop it open.
I'm very impressed.
So your typical MRE, what do they run usually?
Well, this is
$8.
$8.
That one's $8.
$8 to $10.
The clear plastic one that had the 2 desserts, I think it's 13.
And then if you buy the
That's
case,
it?
we
That's
add-
because you get 2 desserts.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just
we
saying. I
think there was
actually,
more
when you
total.
buy them by the case too, I think it's 12 in the case. It marks it down. Our system automatically takes a deduction off each one to make it a case price.
It's
versus
2
an invoice price.
desserts.
Yeah, but I mean, that's well worth it. I
That's
mean, well
that's
worth it.
cheaper than fast food, and that should be.
And no kidding.
Oh, absolutely.
No kidding. Yeah.
Right.
This is a coffee
Yeah.
at American Ammunition Coffee, and it might be worth it. But
Yeah.
But you know
Yes, they buy.
what's funny? What a great point you brought up to me yesterday, Dustin. Too was it's not just about emergencies or stuff like that. What if you lose your job,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
And you have no income coming in,
Yeah. It actually, whatever money
how
you do
long
have,
will that give you until you're
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
not having to buy groceries,
right?
right, would be a nice investment in that money that you do have.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
And stretching that out as much as possible by actually going.
well,
into your
using
food
gas to
supply.
go to those job interviews
Yeah.
and stuff like that you're trying to get.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, that's great. That's
Or
awesome.
not even in a prepper situation, but what happens? We've all been to the grocery store and there's nothing
Yeah.
there.
right.
Or the prices are outlandish. You remember just not even a couple of weeks ago, eggs were
Eggs. Jeez.
I
$10 a
actually-
carton.
$10 an
Yeah.
18 pack.
Oh, I think I was one of the first to notice that. I went in because we usually buy. I try to do Atkins or low carb in general. Right? So I'll often buy the 60-pack, and it usually is about $12 something.
Yeah.
So one day I look up, it's $27.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait, what?
It hasn't been on social media. It wasn't in the news. I'm like, what the hell's going on? I sent a picture to my wife. I'm like, that's not what I normally pay, is it?
Yeah.
She's like, no.
Yeah, you're
Let's
like,
get
I don't
the
buy
stuff."
groceries all the time, but is this
Yeah.
what we pay for eggs?
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it got crazy, right?
So, what do you guys say to people who grow their own food and produce their own food? You know,
you.
for being self-sufficient.
Smart.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
for you.
Very smart. Yeah.
Because you're not going to be dependent. You're not going to be sitting and waiting in lines and dependent on somebody else to come bring you food.
Right.
But I would say the one advice I'd give them is hide it. Don't brag about it.
Don't advertise it. Yeah.
Right?
Well,
Because
yeah, it's not going to be
you
on
just
my
sing to
Facebook
steal.
page or anything.
Well,
but
you
like,
just thing to steal is something you leave outside.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and especially like, so I love gardening. I always have. My dad grew up that way. I grew up that way. I love it. There is nothing that can beat a fresh tomato off that plant. I am
Yeah.
sorry, there is nothing that can do it.
Yep.
The fresh sugar snap peas, the fresh green beans, they're so much better. You go to the grocery store and they're what, 2 weeks old by the time you're
They're
purchasing them?
gross. They're bruised. They're
they're-
molding.
Even to that
Exactly.
point, like apples,
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
totally different in the store than if they grow in your yard.
Yep.
Absolutely. Oranges, anything like that. Like you can't beat that. And I never have done it ever for like the grocery store part of it, but it just tastes so much better.
Yeah,
So.
absolutely.
Almost as good as those MREs.
They're
They're
not bad.
surprisingly,
I'm not
they're
gonna
very-
lie. They're
very tasty.
pretty good. Like
Very tasty.
the chicken burrito bowl is calling my name.
All right, we got to keep moving on.
Okay, so I'm sorry. Headlines.
Yeah, we usually do headlines, but I brought up a couple of headlines. So Biden again calls for assault weapons ban after Nashville shooting.
Why
Of
would he
course, that
not?
could bring up a whole different topic. This was interesting. Russian billboards urge citizens to prepare survival kits.
Interesting, right?
Yeah.
Right? That was an interesting.
Russian billboards. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a sad state of things when we have to tell people to prepare survival kits. When did that become the not normal thing to always,
Right.
have available
Yep.
in your house, right? You
Yeah.
have first aid kits. Why not have
Have
something to
a
actually? What if your house burns down? Are you gonna, have the
Great
ability
point.
to grab something, and get the hell out?
Great
Yeah.
point.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's prepping.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's just
that's
not,
getting ready.
Great
You know,
point. Yeah.
if you did it that way, it would not be as vilified as prepping for something that you
Else.
can depend on the government.
Well, and you're
government
prepping for whatever you feel is necessary. I mean, if you feel necessary to prep for a zombie apocalypse,
Yep.
Well, that covers so many things when you do
It
that.
really
You
does.
sound
Really?
crazy.
shut up! Don't help
When
him.
you say it that way, it sounds
Where's
crazy.
his wife?
But
I know
what is
she's
he
on
not
here.
prepared for at that point? You know what I mean?
So should I have not ordered those storage containers?
Which ones?
Big shipping ones
Oh no, I want those.
to bury in the backyard.
Yep.
Oh no! Oh my god.
That's also smart.
Side story.
Oh no.
So there's always this moment,
We're running
women.
out of time though.
Women, you know this. Shut up. It's a good story. Women, you know this. When you've married your father, this is the moment when we're dating, and he says, "Oh, it'd be really nice to get like a shipping container or like a big bus or something and bury it in the backyard." I'm like, "Oh my god." I've listened to this my whole life.
But
What?
it sounds crazy until you're using it.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Sounds
Shut
crazy
up!
Until you needed it.
Yep.
And actually, on your 9 acres, that would go perfect.
My 9 acres would
Right.
be beautiful. I'd have a whole
Right.
Yep.
bomb shelter. It'd be great. I don't even need a thing. so
Actually,
I'm
that
just gonna
could
build it there.
actually be the middle of your 9 acres.
That's true.
That's where you put the
A
in-laws.
below ground living arrangement.
Oh
Don't-
yeah.
Don't need air
I
conditioning.
wouldn't put
See,
it near
I
the
like the
house.
way
It'd
he
be away from
thinks.
the house. Are you gonna buy the 9 acres with me? I'm so excited.
That's kind of the first step, isn't it?
Yeah. 9 acres today, it cost you $1 million.
Has to be 9
no
acres.
kidding. No kidding. Especially
But it has
here.
to be 9 because there's one on each corner.
I know. So
Okay.
over 20 dead after Mississippi tornadoes level towns while
I
carving
heard
a
about
100-mile
that.
path of destruction across South Mississippi. I'm assuming it got cut off
Across the south.
across the south.
No, Dad was telling me about this. That it went through this whole town and it literally left nothing.
Oh, it did. It took out the whole
nothing.
town. Yeah.
Like everything's gone.
That's another great,
Yeah.
right?
Well, and like for people
mean-
that live there, they
Not really,
they have
because
the
where are you gonna
shelters for
pick
that
your
too.
shit up when the
Luckily,
tornado-
it doesn't happen here, so
Right,
we're not really
right.
prepared for that. But you kind of don't need to.
Well, I beg to differ. We had a
We had a tornado.
tornado
hit
come
down
and
in
take our roof
Florence.
off last
Yeah.
year.
Here,
Yeah.
There was 7 tornado hits last year. Remember? No, it was two summers ago.
Yeah.
In June, when there was all those thunderstorms, there was 7 actual tornado touchdowns.
Well, not to mention the one on our wedding day.
Oh yeah, there was the one on our wedding day. It's totally good.
We got married in October,
okay, yeah.
and it was a freaking tornado,
Tornado
that
warning
touchdown.
came across.
Not too,
yeah,
not too
it was
far
awesome.
from here.
I was like, why would it not?
I think in those scenarios, you have to remember to prep long enough for, in a real disaster like that, a large scale, you have to prep long enough for FEMA to get to you.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Somebody eventually will. I'm just
For
saying, don't
somebody to give a
depend on
shit,
it.
because look at New Orleans.
Yeah.
It was what, 7 days before
Yeah,
somebody
it
could
was
get
a
there.
week. Yep.
Well, I grew up in New York, and
so you're used
when
to
I was a
that.
kid,
Actually-
we had a hurricane come
Snow
through,
happens.
That brings up a
and
good
it took out our power for a week.
yeah.
Luckily, my mom was smart enough, and we had food. We had, we were able to make do with what we had for that week.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were without power for a week.
Yeah, actually, that brings up a good point. One of the things we sell, again, not trying to position products, but a radio that's rechargeable, especially a solar trickle
Yeah.
or chargeable, because one of the stories around Katrina was there was an actual distribution point, but nobody knew to go there.
Oh, because nobody had a radio
Nobody had access
And
to.
there were people less than a mile away
that didn't
that
even know.
weren't going to this thing because they didn't know.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And if they had some sort
Well,
of
and
radio
how are
where
you
they
going to
could
have any
turn it on.
communications? Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's why
I mean,
we got
well,
walkie-talkies too,
Yep.
so we
But
can.
Rely on
again,
your
it's
phone
not
to
going to
radio.
train. It's not going to stream over that.
No, but
Well, they'll eventually, in that scenario, they have the weather channels that are
Yeah.
for emergency, and then they have the AM and the FM frequency.
Yeah.
So eventually, you will get something
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
at least tells you, hey,
Go
here.
here. Call. This is
Yep.
yeah. That's crazy.
I'm gonna leave Aaron here if you guys don't mind. I have to go deal with something at home.
You're
okay,
good.
But
we're almost done.
Yeah.
he knows everything. Don't let him over discount you. He's notorious for that.
Well, thank you for coming on.
Yeah,
Yes,
sorry.
thank you.
We appreciate
Not
it.
planned, or
No, I get it.
would
You're
have
good.
forewarned you in
Hopefully everything's okay.
Yes.
advance. I will let you know. I think you
Keep
will.
us posted.
Yep.
You're good. The dogs will let you out. Don't worry.
Yeah. They may
Yeah.
want to go home with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, I have to leave early. I
You're good.
Would love to stay, but
No, you're good.
No
Thank you.
worries.
Drive safe.
Hopefully
Appreciate it.
everything's okay.
Thank you.
Keep us posted.
all right.
And we'll have you guys on again. Trust
Yeah.
me.
You'll come
So,
back.
for sure.
So police were looking for an oversized red spoon display. Oh no, we missed one.
Yeah, you missed
Beware
one.
of snakes before you venture into an Arizona adventure for this summer.
Especially here in Arizona. Yeah. 'Cause
Yeah.
right now they're coming out. They're coming out of hibernation.
Yeah, we even sell snake bite kits and stuff
Oh,
in our
nice.
store.
Cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I think I
I've
saw
actually.
that.
Have you ever seen a Gila monster?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
They're crazy.
You're
looking.
talking to the guy
One
who,
ran
like,
past me. I thought
loves-
it was a freaking cat. They're so big.
Oh, they're huge.
Yeah.
Huge, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I
They're
don't-
also
yeah.
very illegal to touch.
Oh yeah. Don't. Yeah. No. They're
To
actually.
touch?
They're actually venomous.
So they're
Oh.
they're venomous. They don't have fangs, but what they
Right.
do is that when they bite you,
Yep.
It's
it's
their
in their
saliva.
saliva.
Yeah.
So it's they're-
Well, and actually, a misconception about Komodo dragons. Everybody thought the same thing about that.
They were-
They're
yeah.
actually venomous.
Yeah.
It's not just the saliva.
Right.
They are venomous.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Oh yeah. You get bit by them. They say it's something like 350 different bacteria that
Oh
just
yeah.
go to.
I mean, and they
it just
eat
starts
ox.
killing you.
Just don't mess with the dragon.
Right. Yeah.
Like, it's pretty
exactly.
simple.
You're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're crazy. They're crazy animals.
Well, you have dragon in your name.
Right.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
just-
Exactly.
like,
they're
I'm
cool.
good.
They're cool
I'm
to
good.
watch.
You have to
though.
call me dragon. You have to call me Nighthawk.
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks.
So this is kind of a funny story. Police looking for an oversized red spoon display stolen from a Phoenix Dairy Queen. Wonder
I
who
want
got
to know
away with
which
that.
one.
I don't know. Well, somewhere in
And
Phoenix.
and why?
Why? Why would you? Right?
Right.
Because
Isn't
you
that
know
the question?
somebody's drunk ass was like, I bet you can't steal that spoon.
Yeah. That or look what I can get away with.
Right.
What I can
right.
do. Yeah. And welcome to Phoenix.
Exactly. All right. So Wacky Wednesday file. You'll like this story since
All
we were
right.
talking about it earlier. Go ahead and read it because
6 doctors. Oh, I remember this one. 6 doctors swallowed Lego heads for science. And here's what came out. As an emergency physician at Western Health in Melbourne, Australia, Andy says he meets a lot of anxious parents whose children succumb to this impulse. The vast majority of kids like Andy simply pass the object through their stool within a day or two. Still, Andy wondered whether there was any way to spare parents from needless worry. Researchers then measured the time it took for the gulped Lego heads to be passed. The time intervals was given a found and retrieval time, or a fart score. Oh, you can't see it because there are things on there.
oh, it cut. Oh, hold on.
Oh,
Sorry, my bad.
stop our banner.
Stop the banner for a second so you guys can see it. I didn't realize I was going to do that.
Or a fart score.
That's funny.
Right? I thought that was pretty funny.
I'm trying to find you a photo of an extreme case of that, but
What, Legos?
Farting or swallowing things?
swallowing.
Oh.
My son
Oh,
swallowed
Lord.
a screw
What?
that big.
A screw?
A screw.
Ooh,
Oh, that's
yeah.
bad. That's pointy.
Yeah, and I
Oh,
don't
that's
know
not
how
good.
he got it down. And of course, my wife is freaking out. I'm like, here's the thing.
That's bad.
It's already down though.
Right.
Like it's
right.
it's
Like,
in there.
It's already in his stomach. The worst part would be going down. That's where it
Terrible.
would do
Oh,
the
no.
most. Hold on, that's where it would do the most damage. If it's sitting right in the stomach, I already knew it would pass.
Right.
I already knew that.
The damage it's going to do
Hold
though when
on,
it
nurse
passes.
over here. Hold on, nurse. If it's small enough and sitting in the right position, which your body naturally does that, it should pass. And I already knew this.
No, it'll
Right.
pass,
Right.
but it's
Hold on.
sharp.
But it's at what angle? And it's surrounded
yeah,
in
I know,
shit,
I know, I
which is a
know.
lubricant, by the way.
Yes.
So she's freaking out. My mom's freaking out. Eventually, of course, we have to take her to the. We take him to the ER, and I can't find the freaking photo. But they look at it, they pull it up, they look at it. The moment they see it on the screen, I'm not even kidding. You couldn't even take an inhale. It happened so fast. He goes, "Oh, he'll pass it." That fast. I already knew this was the case.
Right.
And everybody's
Well, he's gonna
freaking
pass
out.
it,
Right. No, he
but-
goes, he'll pass it. No issues. And then they send it over to like the children's emergency
Yeah.
room thing and they're, collaborating, whatever. And sure as hell he passed it. Or
Well, I
sure
think
as shit, I guess.
the fear comes. No pun intended, right?
Right.
I think the fear comes though as it's going around the intestines. If it does, because it could puncture the
'Cause they
intestines.
can
at
No, and I
some point,
scrape
but-
everything,
I
and that's
totally
exactly
agree.
what
Yeah.
I see.
And they only.
Because I'm the one that goes to worst case scenario. Because
Right.
She
this
does.
is my life.
She really
Right.
does.
And yeah, I knew like
He's
the
gonna
swallowing
pass it.
is the hardest part.
Oh,
because
yeah,
that
it's
thing's
already
big
down
and it's a
there.
little kid,
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
But he got it down and the way that they saw it positioned, and by the time it comes out, it's already covered in shit.
That's true.
He's not shitting a screw. He's
Right,
shitting
right,
with
yeah,
the screw
yeah,
in it.
exactly.
Wow. So
Well,
there's
At
that.
least you didn't try to retrieve it. That's good.
But the best part is my wife had to sift through each shit to make sure you got it out.
Oh,
in time.
no.
Yeah, I'd throw up. I couldn't do that.
I-
There's
yeah,
way.
I couldn't, no
I'm
way.
so bad. I can't even do dishes really. I throw up. Like,
Really?
Yeah.
You're sensitive.
Fucking baby.
Well, I'm teaching my kid the word pee-pee because I'm trying to slowly
Right,
potty train him
right.
right now. But instead of saying stinky, he goes pee-pee, and I'm like already laying him down. I'm like, all right, this is fine. As soon as I'm not prepared, and I'm like, and I almost didn't even change him because it wasn't that much, and he was just gonna lay down. I opened it
Yeah.
up, shit in my face, my stomach turned. I had to leave him with the diaper open, run to the sink. I almost throw up, and she's just laughing and breastfeeding. She's like, "Sorry, you're gonna have to
What
deal
do you
with
want
it." I'm
me
like,
to
"Give me a
do?"
second. Let me just breathe through this." Yeah.
She's like, sorry,
Yeah.
you
Let
want
me
to trade?
vomit
Nothing can
first.
compare me for that.
Right?
And you're welcome.
So I like this quote of the day by Benjamin Franklin: "By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail."
100%.
I like that
Done,
quote.
done.
So.
Quiz.
All right, so I did put a little quiz of the week together. This is something we normally do. A little 5-question quiz. Audience, if you want to play along, you can.
Are we going to let the audience play along?
Yeah, we'll go through.
Christine, are you ready?
We'll go through it quick though, because we are definitely way over on time. So
So,
right.
how long can a person last without water? A month, less than a week, 1 day, or 3 weeks?
we usually have the Jeopardy theme going.
It's gonna be the answer is gonna be less than the week, but you can do 3 weeks. It's very possible.
I think it depends on the
you're-
individual.
You're
In
dying
Arizona,
during that
in the
time,
summer,
but
probably
yeah.
not.
No, definitely not in Arizona. But
But
Yeah,
someplace
less
where
than
it's
a
cool
week.
and you're temperature constrained. And,
well, and see, and
you
even
know.
in Arizona, it really would be 1 day, depending on what you're doing.
Literally,
you know what I mean?
if you're in
But-
the you're in the
127
desert,
degrees. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. What's our answer?
beep.
Less than a day.
All right. Less than a day.
That says less than a week. I'm right. You're wrong. Just,
less than a
just so
week?
we clarify.
Oh.
Right? It was circled. You're making me look bad here.
I'm so sorry. What?
It did say less than a week. It was circled.
Yeah, it was.
But you said less than a day.
Oh,
Oh,
so
did-
probably. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
Which one of these actions is not a way to conserve water?
Wet your clothes and skin when you have the chance. Breathe through your mouth. Stay out of the sun or eat less.
Keyword: not.
Not a way to conserve water. So eating less is
See,
probably not a way
breathing
to.
out of your mouth exudes a lot of internal water. So
Right.
that's saying breathe, I don't
Breathing
know.
through your
Right,
mouth.
that's interesting.
I'm not going to answer because I
I'm
made the
gonna
quiz. So
Producer made the quiz.
I'm gonna say B. It seems right to me. Wet your
Christine?
clothes and skin because that helps hydrate.
Is
Yeah, so
not a way.
yeah, breathing through your mouth would not help you save water.
okay. Our answer is Christine says B,
Yeah, I'll go with B.
and that is the answer. My circles are not.
Your red
really-
is not very
I know,
bright.
I gotta
It's
make
not
it
very
brighter
thick.
next time.
B, breathe through your mouth.
Question 3.
See, and I didn't know that when you breathe out, you.
Yeah.
But think about it too. If you breathe on your hand gets wet.
Yeah.
I could literally, if you like blow vapor really close to your face, your whole face will get wet.
Oh yeah.
But think about it. Why do your glasses get steamy?
They fog
Oh, yeah,
up.
100%.
Duh.
Yeah.
Okay. How dehydrated must the body become before death? 12 to 20%, 1 to 5%, 20 to 25%, or 30 to 36%.
I have no clue. I'm not good with percentages, but B also still sounds good. But
But it also seems too
Dehydrated.
predictable.
dehydrated, is that like your
Dehydrated before death.
Yeah.
So as you die, how dehydrated? If you're 1% dehydrated, like
yeah, I guess
you're like
maybe 12,
vapor. You're like
12 to-
dust.
12 to 20, but we're also 75% water.
Exactly.
Right,
but that's what I'm
right.
saying.
You
So
know?
if you dehydrate down to 1%, like you're
you're probably
done.
dead.
You're
Yeah,
the
you're
mummy.
done.
Right.
Yeah.
So even 12 to 20%, that's a lot.
Oh, I'm thinking how much are you losing percentage wise before
No.
you die?
No.
I'm
How
thinking of that.
No, yeah.
dehydrated
Right.
must the body be
Gotcha.
when you die?
So we got 2 C's in the audience there.
20 to 25%.
That
Yeah,
seems
because
about
you're
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd go with C.
You'll be surprised. It's 12 to 20%.
20%. But is it 19.5?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Come on now.
exactly. So C was a good guess.
What are the signs of heat stroke? Lack of sweating, even though it is hot out. Nausea. Dizziness. You think you're transgender. Or A, B, and C.
Definitely E.
Yeah.
You sure it's not D?
Sure it's not D?
All right. Yeah, maybe.
And E. But in Arizona, that's huge.
It
You're
is.
gonna say, well, in Arizona, D is definitely.
It could be D, right?
Definitely.
Yep.
But lack of sweating, people don't think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. As soon as I read that, I was like, yeah, that's the main one I think of.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something's wrong
Yeah.
if you're not
If
sweating.
you're not sweating.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
Absolutely.
100%. All right, last question.
What is the most important thing in a survival situation? Practice and preparation, positive attitude, big muscles, or always carrying a knife.
See, the B one's kind of tricky because I would say it's state of
It's
mind.
important.
It doesn't
B is
necessarily mean
big.
you have to be positive. You just have to be smart and strategic.
Exactly.
I'm still gonna go with B, but yeah, the positive part, even just a good attitude.
Just a
or
good attitude in
smart or-
general, yeah.
Right.
Christine says A.
Practice and
So
preparation.
you
I'm
don't
between
need to,
I'm
you don't
between
need to
A
be
and
prepared
B.
to survive. You just have
That's
to
true.
think and be smart.
You have to kill all other humans.
Yeah.
Heavy Metal Beer Club says A.
Okay with
I would, me personally, it's B. I don't know what the answer is.
Their answer is A.
Practice
Their
and
answer is
preparation.
practice and preparation.
And that's what
I'm
I was
between
saying
A
with
and
you
B.
earlier. Yeah,
I'm between
you,
A and B.
You don't need to be prepared. It's you should be
Right.
but you don't need to be if you're mentally stable.
Right. I agree. Attitude has everything to do
Problem
with
solving
it. Yeah.
is really all it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
And let's run through the current status. Nothing's really changed.
Yeah,
it's
we
all
won't-
kind of
we
the
won't read through it all.
same.
All the good stuff.
Yep. The end.
Sweet.
So, what have we learned today?
We learned a lot.
Buy more guns.
Go shop at Practical Tactical and Prep.
Yeah.
Buy more guns.
By the way, the link to their website is scrolling across your screen on the bottom. Be sure to go check
If
it
you
out.
haven't noticed, by the way.
And you guys can order. I didn't take time to notice, but you can order online through you guys. Too,
Yeah, so
right?
our website, the way it's set up is any item in our website, well, all of our inventory is up to date
I'm
on
gonna
our
eat this
website.
cookie.
Always is. We use it as our POS system, so we always have it up to date.
Right.
Any item that you search for, if it ends with Power Road in stock, that's what's in our store.
Okay.
We won't ship that to you unless you're doing like in a crazy amount, because now I'm personally having to grab items to go do it.
Right,
The
right.
item
Because now
and
I
I'm
have to
and
go
I'm
get
the one
it.
running the store really
Right.
when my dad's in the back. You know, it's undoable right now, at least. The items that do not say that can be ordered and delivered to you because it's coming from our vendors.
Oh,
Okay, gotcha.
So there are, and it gets confusing for some people. They're like, "Oh, it said that you had this in stock." Yeah, but that's one for ordering, not in our store.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But and even in a cool thing with this setup also, and we've had somebody do this, and they were like, "I was surprised it even worked. I wasn't sure." You can go to our website right now, purchase a gun on our website, and select either the option to pay in store. So what that does is it just removes the item from our stock, so
Okay.
it's yours. And then by the time you get in there, you're paying
It's
for
there.
it there. Right.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Not something I need to know in my life.
Right.
Keith's going to be like, why do you have all these things in your cart? Mind your business.
Right. Exactly. Did we get a gun?
Mind your business. I need to go get, because you're right next to the pet store where I have to
Yep.
buy rats from.
Right.
So, I have to go get
We
rats
get a
for
lot
this
of
thing.
customers from that pet store.
I
Shout
bet.
out
I
to
bet
them.
you do. Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah. Absolutely. And it's
'Cause
called
as
it's
soon
called a
as-
pet shop, isn't that
Yeah,
the name
it's
of it?
literally
Yeah,
called
it's called
the
a pet
Pet
shop.
Shop.
Because
Yeah.
as soon as I saw the front of the store, I was like, I fucking know where they are.
You know what's funny is we did
Right up the
we
right
did the
next
gun
door.
show all the way out in Globe, and we met a guy. And long story
we were in
short,
Globe too.
were you?
Yeah.
Long story short, this guy, we had a gun that he couldn't find, and he
Yeah.
already had one, but it was a shorter barrel of it, right?
Okay.
And he wanted to pass it down to his son. Well, he has two, and that was the issue. And so he kept coming back to us, He finally ends up getting it, and we're telling him where our store is and blah blah. And he's like, "You got to be shitting me! I go all the way down to the pet shop all the time, at least twice a month."
And you're what?
That's
Two,
And he's,
so
two
funny.
he's
doors
been
down.
in there every time since and has bought guns.
Yeah.
Oh, it's funny.
Yeah.
That's
His
awesome.
wife's like, oh,
No, she's part of the reason why they're buying guns. Yeah.
that's even worse. Well, that's better. That keeps our healthy relationship.
That's very cool. Well, you guys have a great store. I was glad I got a chance to
Yeah,
stop in
appreciate
and check it out
I'm kinda
before.
jealous I
before
didn't
you
get to
guys.
go.
We'll go. We can go. We have
We get to go?
we might be purchasing something
Yeah.
very
Did
shortly.
we did just get tax money.
Here you go.
So,
Still waiting. On
Probably what we need.
mine. I'm waiting on mine to blow on hookers. So
right?
Hookers and Coke.
Right.
I'm so sorry.
Hookers and guns.
Hookers and
Hookers and
coffee.
guns. Hookers and guns.
Hookers and coffee. I like that too.
Oh, hookers and coffee.
That's cool.
Hookers,
Why-
coffee, Coke, and gun. Oh my God, it's never ending.
America.
America.
America. Well, I really appreciate you guys coming on. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
Definitely want to have you guys back on again. We'll talk about, gun laws and stuff like
You
that.
know what I
I'd
want
love
to talk
have
about?
that.
I
What's
want to
that?
talk about kind of what's in that little case. I want to talk about like what a person needs in Arizona specifically, because
Sure.
we're in Arizona.
Yeah.
You get stuck on the side of the road. I have to drive to Sedona a lot for my job. What happens when I get stuck on the side of the road in the middle of a snowstorm or in the middle of a haboob
Yep.
or whatever?
Yep.
What can I do for that 6 hours? Or how many times have we watched the 17 get closed or
yeah.
the 10 get
Right,
closed because of a snowstorm or an accident
Or
and you're
fires.
stuck there.
Right.
You're stuck there 9 hours.
Right.
What am I going to do for 9 hours?
Yeah.
Like,
So maybe we'll
Sing
do
a lot of songs to yourself, I guess.
right. So maybe we'll do a show
Talk about
called
hookers and
Arizona
Coke.
Prepping or
Sure.
something.
Yeah,
We'll
that'd be
do-
yeah,
great.
I
do
think
something
that
like
would be super neat.
Yeah.
Just
a
that
lot of fun.
simple, because that little box is nothing.
Yeah.
This little box is nothing
Yeah.
Right.
to put in the
I
back
can
of your car.
I can even teach you how to find water in the desert, So,
Yeah. Yep.
What?
Yeah. There's water in the desert.
or how to make fire from ice.
Well,
Fucking
what
weirdos.
happened to the good old days where you took a magnifying glass, hold it
Right.
to the sun, and, and burned ants and
You could
shit?
use your
know?
glasses.
You could use glasses. Yeah, exactly. Same
You
thing.
don't have
Same
any of
principle.
those.
You could use literally a water in a bag.
That's
It's
true
that
too,
same
huh? It was, yeah,
magnifying,
it was same thing. Yeah.
Can you use a water bottle? You can't because of the plastic, right?
I don't.
It
There's
has
too
to
many
be
ripples in it. I
glass.
don't
Yeah.
think it would work. No,
It
you
has
could
to-
use like a Ziploc baggie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It just has to be flat.
Well, so you would actually put it in the corner and you try to get it into that ball sphere shape, and that's what pins through. And
There's
you can
so
angle,
many things
There's a
that
lot
are
of different.
happening right
Yeah,
now.
so many different. Yeah, for sure.
We'll do
Rabbit
another
hole
show
open.
for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Down the
Absolutely.
hole. Totally done.
All right, so sorry we went over, guys, tonight. Hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel or follow us on Rumble.
What
Get
did we
yourself
learn
some
today?
MREs.
They're not awful.
They're good. They're very good.
They're actually. I'm gonna eat this whole thing.
Go for it. She's going after the dessert.
It's 300 calories.
All right, everybody, have a great rest of the week,
terrible.
and we will see you guys next week.
Take care.
See ya.
Bye.
We love America, the home of the brave. We love